us via the Rogers Brandon Global Telephone Network. There we are. Hi, everybody on YouTube. They've got a program going on, and they've got a connection to our favorite couple. Who is our favorite couple? Although there are rumors they could be breaking up. Who is our favorite couple, Mr. Burdick?
We're talking about Jackie and Shadow.
That is correct. The Eagles. But they may be breaking up. And there's a connection to Calm and Jackie. Jackie was attacked by another eagle, which Shadow may be shacking up with up in Big Bear. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, there's a foundation up in Big Bear that has a camera on the nest of Jackie and Shadow, and we've been following these two eagles for about 3 years now, and we've seen them give birth to about 4 different eaglets. We've seen them have a crow destroy 2 of their eggs about a year ago, and their 2 eaglets are just getting up. And then recently, Jackie got attacked by a fellow eagle and got a blood fusion from an eagle here at Calm. So we're going to talk with Meg Maitland about that. And they've got a special program going on this Sunday, the Educational Resources Festival from 9 to 2 on Sunday. So Meg will tell us all about that. And then late in the afternoon, my good friend Kate with the Steve Hilton campaign called. And so we're going to talk to the gubernatorial candidate, Steve Hilton, at 5 o'clock. That came out of nowhere. And bad news for CBS broadcaster. Yeah, CBS. Did you hear this? Tony Romo,
yeah.
got popped for a DUI in Milwaukee.
Well, it's not DUI, it's OWI.
Well, it's
operating while intoxicated.
It's the same thing. Different states, DUI, DWI, OWI. He was drunk and he was driving. That's the bottom line. How this impacts his career? I don't know. What do you think? You're a sports guy. CBS.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. Now, if this was like a Mark Sanchez situation where he pulled a guy out of a truck and had his entire episode, now we're talking a little different.
Doing sprints behind the bar and acting like a fool.
Now, again, he'll have to be the front man for a campaign to make himself look better for a while, but I think he'll be okay.
And they'll give him a ton of community service.
And they will lean on that. It's not a DWI, it's an OWI thing. Like, they'll lean on that.
No, that's just every state does it differently, has a different initial for it. That's all. It's still, it's equal to our DUI.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, some states do DWI, driving while intoxicated. Ours is DUI, driving under the influence. OWI, it's illegal driving. It's drunk driving, no matter what the initials are. And LeBron has made up his mind and has upset the whole state of Florida, apparently. And we were all wrong. I said Golden State. You said what? Miami?
I did say Miami.
And Randizzle down the hall said Cleveland.
I had heard Philly was in the running. I heard they were always a factor.
We all heard that, but I just didn't think so.
I think they'd get him for $8 million.
Is that what they paid him?
2 years, $8 million. That's it.
Well, we'll talk about that after the break. And again, Mr. Bentley will join us at the bottom of the hour. And we've got the DHS report that we're going to get to as well, the Child Protective Services review. But we begin with the match. As I told you last week when I played with Chris Zucchini, he was getting ready to, we played match. And I told you it came down to the last hole. Chris made a putt to beat me on the 18th. And then the very next day, he played in a match. The BCC, Bakersfield Country Club, has a match play tournament that goes on. And they get guys in certain flights, certain handicaps. And Chris played his second round today. And Roy, who he was playing, told Chris, well, I'm bringing my buddy Mike. And so he said, well, then let me bring my buddy. Late last night, he invited me. And I played okay. Sometimes I look like I know what I'm doing. And sometimes I look like I started playing yesterday. It's so frustrating. But to the match, though, it was great, dude. It was great. I was so excited. I was nervous for Chris last night, let alone this morning. And I think both Roy and Chris would say they did not play well. They're both better players, you can tell. And what was fascinating was Chris's strength is Roy's strength. Roy has a great short game, and so does Chris Zucchini. And I don't think either one of them would say they were happy with the way they hit the ball, but it went back and forth. It looked like Chris was going to dominate at one point. He was up 2. Then Roy came back and looked like he was going to dominate. It was even like through much of the middle of the round. And then when it came down to about 15, Chris was down 2 going to 16. Roy hit it where Billy used to live, our old general manager,
Oh, wow.
in those condos. Yeah, hit it
Yeah.
off the golf course. And so then Chris, was up next. And I'm like, he's going to, I almost told him to hit iron. And he literally hit like a 55-yard drive. Roy hits it out of bounds, and Chris responds with a 55-yard drive. And we got in the cart, and I said, hey, you're still in control. Just put a little, chunk it out in the middle, put it on at 3, 5 wins the hole. And it did. He did exactly that. 5 won the hole, so they were down 1 with 2 to play. And both Chris and I hit it within 10 feet. I hit it, I think I literally hit it within like 3 or 4 feet, made birdie. Chris had like a 6 or 7 footer. He made birdie. So now it's even going to 18. It's even going to 18. And I was worried for Zucchini because he traditionally doesn't play 17 well. For whatever reason, he always hits it right on 18. I mean, he always hits right on 18. And as I remember, he hit a decent drive, didn't hit it very far, but Roy hit it what is supposed to be Lairdo. You hit in those trees, you got to punch out. But he hit it so far, he hit a shot at the green. So I'm over there with Chris, and out of the woods comes this ball, and it's going directly at the green, and he just left it short. He's about maybe 2 yards off the green on the short grass. Chris now is laying 3 and is on in 4, and Roy has essentially a birdie putt. If he 2 putts, it's over. Chris has got a putt for 5. If Roy can get it up and down from just off the apron, it's over. And so I literally thought it was over. I said, damn, I hope Chris doesn't blame me for this because he's about to lose. And I was shocked because, like I said, Roy has a really nice short game. And I was shocked that he putted it. And I think that's, coming down the stretch and that sphincter gets a little tighter. It's much easier to feel like you can get it closer with a putter. Nobody knows that better than I do because I used to putt. I used to putt from about 100 yards. I used to putt all crazy places, Jack, just because my short game was so bad, and it still is. But then Roy left it about 6 feet short. So now Roy's got a putt to win, and he pushes it right. But now Zucchini still has to man up and make like a 5-footer to go to 1, to go to extra holes. And I'm like, please, because I just knew Chris would go blame me if he loses this match. I don't think so, and he manned up. I tell you, Zucchini's got some dog in him. He's a former wrestler, football player. Is probably always the smallest guy on the team, but he was always just that gritty guy that go through a wall for you. And he's just got that dog in him. And then I watched from the clubhouse because now it's 1:30. I got a little puppet show to put on. And I sat in the clubhouse and I saw Roy miss his drive in the bunker right, which means you have no shot to the green, none. And Chris put it right down the middle. And I was sitting there with the guys in the clubhouse, and we saw Roy punch out. And I said, I can tell if Zucchini's going to hit the green or not. I can tell you guys, we can't see the green from the clubhouse, but I said, I'll tell you if he hits the green. And he hits his shot and he stares down, and the ball hasn't even landed. And I go, he hit it. He hit it. He likes it. He likes it. And apparently he hit it on the left side of the green, 2-putted for 4, and beat him. And what's interesting is Roy's boy, Mike, is Zucchini's next opponent in this ongoing match tournament. But just a pair of really nice men, Roy and Mike. I hope they're listening. I told them to tune in. I was going to leave with this today because it was just fun to watch. It was just fun to watch. And like I said, I played okay. I think I shot an 89 or 90. I didn't even pay attention, but I just did some things. Dude, I did something on the golf course I've never done before.
Which is?
I flew it on 8. I had way too much club and flew it on 8, the par 3. So now I'm coming straight downhill with a straight downhill lie. And I'm thinking, I lay open my lob wedge, and I'm trying to scoop under it and just pop it up, cover the bunker, and just let it trickle down. And I almost took my old man chipper, but I didn't think I could fly it over the bunker. You know what I did? Strike 1. Ball's right there. Strike strike. 2. Ball still there. And I almost picked it up right there, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get this damn ball. And I barely got it on the green. And then I just put it in my pocket, gave myself a 6. 6 on a par 3. I had 2 triples, a couple of doubles, but I had 2 birdies, which helped, and a couple of pars. It's just, my game, like for 7 holes, you'd think this guy's a player. And for 7 holes, you'd think, he's okay. And then for 6 holes, you'd think, Jesus Christ, when did this guy start playing? I just don't understand. But I'm telling you, I haven't had so much fun on a golf course because, like I said, really nice guys, Roy and Mike, guys that take it seriously but don't take it seriously, you know what I mean? Like they're competitive and they want to win, but it ain't that serious. And it was just fun to watch. It was just fun to watch. And it was too bad that they both couldn't have played up to their capabilities. It would have been fun to really watch that because they both just kind of bumped it around and it was just a matter of who was going to survive. And Zucchini comes up with a big bogey on 18 and then gets middle of fairway, gets on regulation, 2 putts, and then takes it away. So it was fun. I know that's 10 minutes of the rest of y'all's life you're never going to get back, but I apologize. I'm still buzzing, man. I just got home at like 1:30, 1:45, and took a quick shower. And thankfully, we got Mr. Hilton, our gubernatorial candidate, at 5. And Mr. Bentley will join us in just a matter of minutes. And then at 4:30, we're going to talk with one of our favorite people, Meg Maitland, out at the California Living Museum. Again, they've got a program not only going on Sunday, but we're going to talk about Jackie and perhaps Shadow's new lover. And how do eagles get blood infusions? We will ask Meg at the 4:30 hour. In the meantime, we are just getting started on this Friday. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, well, we'll get you the latest on oil prices based on our little adventure over there in Iran. We got that. We got the hot list. We got America's Job Center. We got a lot to do, plus state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here in News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Are you craving a mouth-watering sandwich just packed with flavor? Then look no further than Caesar's Deli, where they craft some of the best sandwiches in town. Sink your teeth into our signature classic, Caesar's Special, featuring 2 kinds of salami, premium ham, and the irresistible taste of Nona's secret meat sauce. It's a sandwich experience that you won't forget. That's not the only sandwich they offer. No. Satisfy your cravings with a savory smoked turkey sandwich, or indulge yourself with the loaded pastrami. Or for the adventurous eater, they offer pickled tongue. And here's the best part. Caesar's Deli has incredible lunch specials that are designed to fill you up without emptying your wallet. Plus, did you know that Caesar's Deli has a full-service deli offering a variety of over 60 meats and cheeses? It's a sandwich lover's paradise, and that's why Caesar's Deli has been a local favorite and proudly serving Bakersfield since 1971. Visit Caesar's Deli today and taste the difference for yourself. Located at the corner of Brimhall and Callaway, behind the beautiful water fountain.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
I'm John Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
And I'm Jonathan Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
We just wanted to talk with you about what we do as a team. We do a great job for our clients. Some of the things that we do is when we represent sellers, we don't just put the transaction together. We do our homework and we check their FICO score, source of funds, where the money's coming from, and the job stability. Because what we don't want is to get you into an escrow and the escrow falls out because we didn't do our homework.
With any sort of real estate need that you have, we can accommodate, whether it's residential, commercial, land, or multi-units. We have experience in all and can help you to a successful close.
The background that we have is I was a lender for 5 years. And so I learned quite a bit as far as how to keep a transaction together. We don't just put it together and hope that it closes escrow. Nothing's 100%, but we do stack it in your favor.
With any needs or questions with real estate, give us a call at 661-410-7355 or visit our website at www.teambusby.com.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
What you doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? Okay, final on the match. Don't laugh at me, Bertie. Final. Because match play is much different than medal play. For non-golfers, match play is hole by hole. So if I'm playing Chris Burdick and Chris makes a 4 and I have a putt for 5, he wins the hole. I don't have to finish. If he's made 4 and I'm putting for 5, the hole is over. But in medal play, you're only 1 up. And then if you win the next hole by 2 strokes, you're up by 3 strokes. And that's how it's counted. But in match play, it's hole by hole. And there's a huge difference. If you don't know golf, there's a huge difference. And I'll give you an example. We go to 12, which is a long par 3. And both Chris and I hit the green. And Roy, Chris's opponent, has a chip. I'm a hard chip. It's up the hill, but he's got to carry the bunker, and you just never know. And Chris is thinking, if I 2-putt, I should win. Because I'm like, are you going to try to make this or are you going to lag this? And he says, he's a pretty good chipper. He's going to get it pretty close. So I'm just going to try to 2-putt this. And Roy stones it. Like he didn't even have to putt it. It was so close. So now the pressure absolutely switches. Because now the pressure was on Roy because he knows I got to make 3 to tie this because he's not going to 3-putt from 15 feet, and he absolutely stones it for a 3. So now the pressure's back on Chris because now if he 3-putts, he loses the hole. He's got a 2-putt just to save the hole, and he 3-putts and loses the hole. That's match play. But again, I'll give it to Zucchini. When he was down 2 with 3 to play, I thought it was over. I really did. We're continuing before we get Mr. Bentley in and on our sports theme to start the broadcast. As I guess everybody knows now, I found out on the way back from the golf course that LeBron James is on his way to Philadelphia. Just like everything for the Philadelphia 76ers, it depends on availability. Is Joel Embiid going to play 40 games? Can he play 65, 70, 80 games? Is he going to be healthy in the second season? That's always been the question with Philly. I was shocked. I thought Golden State, I thought he would, still live in Brentwood and take his private jet, up to Golden State, hang out with Steph and the boys. You think Philly now is an automatic contender? I don't. I don't think they got significantly better.
I think they got better, but I don't think this makes
Yeah, they
that
got
much
better,
difference.
but I said significantly better. Like get you over the hump better. Like win a world's championship better.
I'd still
It's
bet on the
still-
Knicks or the Celtics.
Yeah. I don't see this. I don't see the Knicks repeating. But what was all this nonsense about the Heat posting that he was coming to Miami? What was that all? Have we found out what that was all about?
Yeah, the Miami Heat social media team had pre-made a setup much like we do here for a live stream
Right.
that was meant for LeBron if he did decide to sign with Miami. Well, whoever made this clearly did not know that once you create these things and set it up, it automatically shows up on your page so it can preview that live stream for your fans.
Okay, so then why is Lebitard saying that they're so unhappy that he didn't come to Miami? Did he imply that he was coming to Miami or something?
Everybody was really thinking he was going to go back to Miami because there's been a lot of pictures and videos being leaked lately of him playing golf in Miami. And just with Giannis coming to Miami and all
Right.
that, they were just kind of assuming Pat Riley was going to pull this off and make it happen. But it just wasn't meant to be.
But what are they upset about?
I mean, I think it's more of like a fan upset more than anything. I don't think they're, unless he
Okay.
verbally told them I'm signing with
See,
you.
that's what I was trying to get at. Like,
don't-
that sounds like something LeBron would do.
I have not heard anything of that nature. I mean, if he did, we're going to hear about it here in a day or two.
I just happened to be watching the news as I was getting dressed, and Peter Ducey of Fox asked the President of the United States what he thinks of LeBron James.
Oh, God.
I know. This is funny.
LeBron James has decided that he wants his next team to be the 76ers. Where do you stand on LeBron versus Michael Jordan as the best ever?
Well, Michael Jordan's a guy that's a friend of mine. Play golf with him. He's a really good guy. And I think LeBron is, maybe he's a racist, but maybe he doesn't like Trump. I don't know. But I only like people that like me. So I would say Michael Jordan all the way.
Maybe he's a racist? Why is he calling him a racist? Because he's not a Trump supporter?
Probably.
That was kind of weird. And kind of a weird question to ask the President of the United
So I
States.
said, Mr. Bentley's even over here telling me, it's like, this is the White House press room.
Yeah.
War going on.
We got a war going on. We've got an economy that's in the tank. We've got tariffs on our neighbors to the north of us.
Peter Ducey wants to ask him, who's better, LeBron or Jordan?
Yeah, that's the kind of question when you get back to the newsroom, the editor wants to see you.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, we're not paying you to find out what he thinks of LeBron James.
Is Peter Ducey coming up on his contract? Is he hitting that moment where he just doesn't care anymore?
I don't know. He's got a great relationship with the president, and he's always asking kind of goofy questions, but whatever. I'm just, as a Laker fan, sayonara, don't let the door hit you. Adios. Auf Wiedersehen. Dos Vidania. Bye, Felicia. I am so sick of LeBron James. I have been from the get-go. I don't think he is in the top 5 Lakers. Not even close. Kareem, Magic, Jerry, Elgin Baylor, Kobe. He may not even make my top 10. Because where's Shaq? Where's who Shaq going to replace? Jerry West?
Jerry.
Oh, come on. The logo? Shaq? The logo? I'm going with the logo. Sorry. Those were some crappy teams he was on in the 60s. Quick time out. Rick Bentley is next.
The Iran conflict on Thursday pushed global benchmark oil prices to over $100 per barrel, their highest level since May. The price has fallen since to below $92 a barrel. The national average price for regular gasoline in the U.S. climbed to $4.10 per gallon. That's up more than 17 cents from a month ago, according to AAA. President Trump says the U.S. will open a formal investigation into the European Union's trade practices. He claims the bloc has unfairly levied billions of dollars of fines against Google, Apple, and other U.S. tech giants. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said that a third person has been confirmed killed by catastrophic floods this month that prompted more than 500 rescues in the state. And tropical storm Genevieve has formed in the Pacific Ocean. This is SRN News.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
A 13-year-old boy recounted this week seeing his stepfather, 45-year-old Rafael Estrada, lay down on his mother and cut her throat at a house on Monterey Street, May 28th of last year. Estrada is on trial for the murder of Taylor Estrada, and the defense is arguing it was not premeditated, so they don't believe a first-degree conviction is appropriate.
It may seem like a little mistake, but it may have cost some people hundreds or thousands of dollars. It was a fiber optic cable installer who hit a gas main Thursday morning off Coffee Road north of Stockdale Highway in southwest Bakersfield. When that happened, gas started leaking and the entire town and country shopping center had to be shut down. The line has been fixed and all of the businesses were eventually reopened. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Hey, this is Terry Maxwell. You know, one thing I've never enjoyed is painting. It takes time, patience, and real skill to do it right. That's why when it comes to painting my home or business, I trust the professionals at Howling Painting. Howling Painting is family owned and operated right here in Kern County and has proudly served our community since 1978. They were even voted Best of Bakersfield, Best Painting Company in 2025 and 2026. Whether it's residential or commercial, interior or exterior, Howling Painting delivers top quality work at competitive prices. Their team is dedicated to exceptional service and results that exceed expectations. And they don't consider the job finished until you're completely satisfied. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, so you can feel confident your property is in the good hands from the start to the finish. Get a free, no obligation consultation today at Howling Painting. That's HALLING.com or call 872-0988. Howling Painting, quality works you can trust.
In Kern County, valley fever affects more than 3,000 people each year. But together, we can change that. Join Kern County Public Health as a valley fever ambassador. You don't need medical experience, just a willingness to help your community stay informed. Neighbors sharing with neighbors. Coworkers looking out for each other. Be part of the solution by signing up for a 30-minute virtual training. Visit KernPublicHealth.com to learn more.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And don't it feel good? It does feel good. It's a Friday, and that means KTET entertainment reporter Rick Bentley is live in studio. How are you, sir?
I am great. Thanks for asking.
Outstanding. There is a movement afoot. Are upset at the casting of the Odyssey. Understand? These people have nothing. Black woman is playing Helen of Troy. He's transgender, this kid that's playing Achilles.
Exactly.
Really? I mean,
well,
you gotta explain this to me, Rick, because I don't understand.
Okay. Let's start with Helen of Troy. The actress who the cast is, I've interviewed her over the years, and I will tell you, she is one of the most beautiful women I've ever talked to.
I concur.
I do not care what color, what race, she is just stunning.
Yeah, she's darker than these microphones, but she's a beautiful woman.
She has a face that could launch 1,000 ships. Okay,
could. Hence the name.
Yes. The other thing
Chris got a kick out of that, by the way.
The thing I point out to people is, you have to remember where Greece is. Okay, it's right across the Mediterranean from Northern Africa.
That is correct.
You know, there was travel back and forth. There was trade. There was, and so the fact that there is somebody of darker color who is living in Greece makes complete sense to me. Absolutely complete sense.
And Greek people themselves, because my very first girlfriend, Constance Irene Tsoulis, was a Greek girl. They're very olive, dark skinned.
Yes. So that haters are going to hate.
Yeah.
I hate to.
Yeah.
Quote.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
And you can get a lot of likes if you go the other direction.
Exactly.
While everybody's pouring over Odyssey, I'm going to go the other way and get a lot of attention.
Yeah. And so, if that's what you need to do, Godspeed.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, this is one of those that the argument makes no logical sense. If somebody said, hey, why does Helen of Troy have a Brooklyn accent or something, something you go, okay,
Right.
I get it. They could have, this was one you can get away. Now, as far as the transgender, Elliot Page, I think is a great actor. I think if you didn't know, that Elliot is a.
I did not know.
Yeah, it doesn't come out. It's not like
No.
it's not like there's scenes where we'd be needing to know the gender of somebody. You know, the character is a warrior that who gives their life to make sure that the Trojan horse gets into the city. And so I had somebody point out to me, he says, you know, if you want to complain about transgender and those sort of things with the Greeks, we have some stories we can tell you about.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you really need to look into your history.
Yeah,
on
no
this thing.
kidding.
So
no kidding.
yeah,
Because
so
they
again,
were extremely liberal, let's say.
that's a very good way to put it.
Yeah, very, very
So
liberal.
that being said, if those are your two big complaints, if those are the only things you can find, I think it even adds to my review of it being an A, in that this film is so good, you are now manufacturing reasons
Yeah,
to
that's
hate
exactly what
something.
they're doing. Because another thing that I saw, they were complaining about the level of the volume, that it drowns out the dialogue.
And you know what? That's the problem with the theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, the theaters can set the light, how much light illumination there is to the and to the sound. And so if you're in a theater and it's too loud, walk out, find the manager and say, this is too loud.
Yeah.
So again, that isn't the part of the filmmaking process. I'll guarantee you Christopher Nolan found the right level for the audio.
Right.
And they've probably suggested a certain thing, but you know, who's running the projector? Who's running? So again, these are, I saw somebody complaining about, they thought that the sword that Ulysses used was not quite right for the time period. It was like 100 years off. And I'm thinking, this is really getting
Of a
down.
3,000 old poem.
Right.
Really?
This is really getting down to
Wow.
just being the nittiest, the pickiest.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah. So
absolutely crazy.
you have your right to your opinion, express that you want it. But in this case, these are absurd opinions. They're not based on anything you could legitimately argue other than, well, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, yeah. They're all making the rounds. It's great to see Matt Damon. And I have a new crush on Zendaya. I didn't know she's 5'10".
Yeah,
because remember, my only experience with her was Euphoria, where
Right.
they uglied her up. She was just getting beat up all the time.
I know, but
And I was like, I don't know what all this trouble is about Zendaya.
Yeah.
And then she was on this tour, and I'm like, holy kingfish!
She is.
This is a beautiful
She's
woman.
stunning. She
And
is
5'10".
Yeah. Yeah, she is absolutely stunning. You know, there were people who said, well, she plays Athena. You know, Athena was older. It's like, well, first off, Athena was mythical. We can make her any
Right,
age we want
exactly.
to.
And
And
that's-
again, if you really want to get into the psychology of this, is Ulysses really seeing her, or is it just in his head?
Right.
So he can manufacture any Athena he wants. So I don't want to hear that argument.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But she is. I like I said, I interviewed her when she was about 13 years old, and she was, you know, a young, attractive. You could just tell she was growing into a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
And
that's what
she
Berta
has.
told me, that she was
And-
a big child star.
I think what I think what I admire about her is she carries herself almost regally.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever noticed when even when she's walking the red carpet, it's like you know, but it's not snobbish. I can't explain it exactly, but she just carries herself so beautifully, and yet seems approachable.
Yeah.
And so that's what I love about her.
I did not know, talking with Rick Bentley, KGT Entertainment Reporter, as we do each and every Friday, I did not know that Christopher Nolan directed Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And my problem with
And to be honest with you, I didn't know much of his resume. I didn't know the Batman, all those Batmans were his.
the Batman is as good a Batman as we've got.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a look at all of them. His was incredible. His Dunkirk is beautifully done. It's got some beautiful character, beautiful acting. The problem I have with Dunkirk is that he completely threw out the history of Dunkirk. If you know the real history of it, he basically had it. We're going to send ships. We got them. We're done. We're back. And the real history is it took forever.
Yeah.
And so to expedite it, it really felt like he got completely away from the history.
Well, that's too bad.
And so
I hate
that's
when
why I dig that movie.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
hate-
telling
I
you,
hate when they do that.
his Batman is as good as they get. And look, you want to talk about people who could nitpick something. I could have nitpicked his Batman if I wanted to, but no, it was great.
He did 2, did he not?
Yes.
Okay, the ones with the guy that played Psycho.
Yeah.
What's the guy that played Psycho, Chris?
Psycho, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
There's
Christian
3 of them.
Bale. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. His whole body of work is, he's got great movies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he
And
does.
I maybe this is one of the extras that come out of the Odyssey being so good, is that people are going, well, I wonder what else he's done.
Yeah.
And they're going back and finding, Inception and all this other.
How far am I from seeing it at the Reading Cinemas? Are they still sold out for like weeks?
You can
Because
see,
I'm not going to watch it unless it's on an IMAX theater.
I can say you could see it probably any time, but I would go. I figured get somebody to go online for you, because if you go,
But back up. Are you saying Grandpa doesn't know how to go online? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're trying to imply, Mr. Bentley? I can go online, thank you.
Okay.
I will go online.
All right.
Or Chris will show me.
Yeah. Well, yes. There we go.
All right. Very good.
Yeah. Chris, he needs to take.
We ran through this yesterday.
Yeah, you need to make sure you go online, because right now, if you go over, you're only going to get those front row seats. And IMAX, you do not want to be on a front row.
No,
you
not at
just
all.
don't. I would tell you, I was about row D4, and I wish I'd have been back about E4.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, there is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And what I would do for you is I would pick out, it's going to be here for a while. I would pick out, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah.
If you want to go on just, Sunday afternoon, and pick those 2 right in the middle seats and get the prime thing.
Yeah, I got a vacation come up. So
Yeah, well, there you go. Then
it's a
you
great
can
opportunity.
take that one act, especially if you go over there on a Tuesday, which is half
Mhm.
price day.
Yeah.
And so your IMAX ticket's like a $9 thing.
And then what? Oh, it's Reading. I thought it was Valley. I thought it was Edwards. Because I was going to say, what I was going to do? I was going to go then walk over to Wing It, hit some golf balls. But no, it's at the Valley
Yeah, it's at
Plaza.
the mall. Yeah.
All right, very good.
But you
What
go to the
else?
mall and buy some shoes or something.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. I need some clothes for Philadelphia.
Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So what else is going on in
So you're going to
Hollywood?
Philadelphia with LeBron.
Yeah, I'd love to fly with Mr. James.
I'm sure he called you and said, I'm thinking about a team. Where are you going this summer? I'm going to Philadelphia. Well, then I'll go there too.
I've just never been a fan. Never been a fan.
You know what?
I was a fan when he started in Cleveland, and then we did that ESPN special that he's going to Miami. He lost me.
That's where he
And-
lost me.
And even when he came back, I was happy because I knew he would make the Lakers better. But we won 1 championship in a shortened season, and he really didn't do much. And like I just said, I don't think he's in the. He barely makes my top 10 all-time Lakers.
And I heard you talking, and I would defend you too on Jerry West.
Absolutely.
He's got to be the top 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. That ESPN special where he's going to, here's what I'm going to reveal, and it's a big.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm done with you, dude.
Yeah, that's where he lost me. That's where he lost me.
I admire your skills, but I don't admire your spirit. I don't know. So
We should like him. He's been married to the same woman since high school. I don't know about his fidelity, but he's stayed with him and raised a family. He's got a boy playing basketball. None of the kids are ever in trouble. You never read about him in the papers like other people's kids. And he seems to be a good dad and a good businessman. The flopping and the complaining and the crowning himself and
yeah,
dude, you're 4-10.
Yeah.
Michael was 6 of 6. You're not even in the zip code.
No, you're not.
He
No.
really isn't.
No.
How close are we to the new Spider-Man?
Next Friday.
Next Friday? Okay.
we'll
I'm
talk
excited
about
about that because of my new crush on Zendaya.
Yeah, well, there you go. I do want to put on your radar.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this before. You do not have Paramount Plus.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
The 3rd season of Lioness will start next week.
Really?
I've seen the first 2 episodes. They put the first 2 seasons to shame.
Really? And they were blockbuster
They
seasons.
were great seasons, but these first 2 just blew me out of my chair.
Who are the 2 big stars? What are their
Well,
names? The young black girl.
Yeah. You just threw me off.
Sorry.
Yeah, from Guardians of the Galaxy. is-
Yes. Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, no, I'm
Chris, can you help in there?
I'm trying to make myself Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana. I love her. She was Uhura in the Star Trek movies.
Yep.
Love her.
And then the Australian beauty,
I can't come up with it.
Nicole.
Oh, Kidman is in it?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. I love her.
Yeah, well, you'll love both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what my favorite line of hers after she broke up with Tom Cruise?
Good riddance.
I can wear heels again.
Oh.
I thought that was a great line.
That is a great
That was
line.
a great line.
And she, I have interviewed her, and I stood next to her, and she towered over me.
Really?
Yeah.
She's what, 5'11", 6 feet?
She's at least 6 feet. Then she had heels. So
Yeah.
but and stunning.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Of
just,
course.
yeah.
What else is going on?
Well, I just want to mention that. I also want to mention that there's a new comedy coming on called Stewart Fails to Save the Universe, which is a spinoff of The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
It's
Not a big fan.
Then these are the sort of 4 of the minor characters from Big Bang that get spun off into this. I think there's a reason they were minor characters on Big Bang.
Yeah.
Kevin Sussman's a star, and he played Stewart, who ran the comic book store, if you ever saw an episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fine. The problem I have with this is sort of what made your eyes glaze over when I started talking about Spider-Man, was that it's a multiverse. And so you have a situation where you can have something happening in one world, they switch to another world. Let's say you and I are in this one world, you die, I go to the next world, you're still alive. So you can kill off characters, you can do anything. I think that's a cheat.
Yeah.
And so it's fine. I think fans of The Big Bang Theory will not, I don't know if they'll gravitate to it because, where Big Bang was shot in front of a studio audience, this is shot like a film. So that way they can do more special effects and that sort of thing. A lot of the original, I can't talk about exactly who, other than those 4 supporting players, but a lot of the major characters from Big Bang Theory do pop up. I can't say who. We're embargoed on that, but you will see some of your favorites on that. And again, because it's a multiverse, they won't pop up, as their character.
Right.
Let's just pick one. Let's just say Penny. She won't be the wannabe actress, but maybe in another world she's the president or she's whatever.
No.
So they can be anything they want. So
Okay.
it's fine if you just we're at such a dearth of comedies right now that sometimes just finding one that doesn't just bore me is good. So
I'll leave you with this. We didn't discuss this, I don't think, and I hope I get his name right, but Sam Neill died?
Yes, from Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, and I know him. He was the executive officer to Sean Connery on The Hunt for Red October.
Right.
He's a great actor.
Great actor. Wonderful actor. Yeah, I thought he was really kind of the linchpin of the Jurassic Park movies.
Isn't there another one coming?
There are always going to be another one coming.
Okay.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
If there's $1 to be made, they're going to make it.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful weekend, sir. Always great to talk to you.
You too.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you next Friday.
Yep. Spider-Man.
Rick Bentley. Well, we'll be talking Spider-Man next week. Rick Bentley, everybody. Check him out on KGET. Quick time out. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Our phone number, 842-5376, 842-KERN. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, our good friend Meg Maitland from the California Living Museum is going to join us. Then at the top of the hour, hang on, Steve Hilton, the Republican gubernatorial candidate, will join us live via the Rogers Brandon Global Telephone Network. That's all coming up right here on the Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
If you've got kids right now, what happens every summer? Well, there's no summer jobs available. And so you end up having to spend a lot of money putting your kids into something that is going to keep them active. You can't do what we did when I was growing up. It just doesn't happen anymore. And that's been the death of summer jobs and really changed society in a very negative way.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
I had the double experience at Casey Steakhouse Friday night. I started in the stockyard next door, met a friend and had a couple of cocktails there, and then went next door to the main restaurant where Bobby and Jimmy are performing Tuesday through Saturday nights, as they were Friday, and had dinner in the main restaurant. And I did not have red meat. I had the chicken, the Ralph Bailey, that chicken breast that I talk about. But again, it's about expanding the menu. And if everyone is not feeling, there was a birthday party going on. That's what I talk about. KC Steakhouse is famous for birthday parties and anniversaries and meetings and large tables of 12. And again, not everybody is feeling the ribeye, which is probably the most popular, the New York, my favorite, along with the filet. And so there are alternatives. Chef Daniel has expanded the menu. I've told you about the lobster mac and cheese, the different fish dishes, the chicken breast, the specials of the day. Where would you rather be than either in the stockyard right next door or the main restaurant, KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show?
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of acid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace,
you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Want to thank Rick Bentley. Be back with us next Friday, and he'll be hosting 2 weeks from today when I am on a very little deserved but much needed vacation. 842-5376, our phone number, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board, Chris?
Just got one here. It said, Ralph, you took a quick shower when you got home from golf? I thought you only took baths.
I did actually take a bath, if you want to know the truth. I just was rambling, but yes, I did take a bath, actually. I'm getting a little sick and tired of the baths, though. Because what's the difference between taking a bath and taking a shower?
Taking a bath, you're sitting in your own disgust.
Well, that's what my dad used to say. No, I don't have a problem with that. It's you have to clean the freaking tub every single time you take a bath.
True.
And it's disgusting when I played golf and you get out of the tub and you're brushing your teeth and the water sinks out and you look back and you're like, damn, it's like dirt on the bottom of the tub. Like, I can't even leave the bathroom. I like scrub it down before, because I don't want to, in the morning when I'm trying to get ready, have to look down there and see the scum around the side. And with a shower, you don't really have to do that.
Not often.
And if you're wondering, well, Ralph, why don't you just shower it down? Because I took the head off of the whole bath thing started. If you really want to hear the story, you all started this, I put a new shower head on my apartment complex is like 80 years old. So I got one of those newfangled fancy shower heads, and it just started spinning. So I had to buy another one. And in the midst of buying them, I started taking baths, and I started digging it, because like for the first 5 minutes of my bath, I don't even bathe. I just sit up there with my feet on the wall and my neck on the back of the tub, and I just lay in hot water. I just lay there contemplating. Sometimes there's a marijuana cigarette hanging out of my mouth. Sometimes there's a little vodka on the edge of the tub, and I just sit there for about 5 minutes and just chill. And then, where's the Irish Spring? Let's get after it. But you're right. My audience knows me. I do dig baths. What else? Is that it? Is that all I got? All right. Coming up at the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to get into this DHS report, the CPS review. Paid these people down in San Diego $411,000 to come up here and tell us how to take care of our children. This following the death of Genesis Mata, whose biological father, Ray Mata, and her stepmother, Gabriela Bustamante, are on trial for murder. Let's just hope that our DA doesn't cut a deal, kick it down to manslaughter or something like that. But we'll get into their findings. And then at the bottom of the hour, one of our favorite people, Meg Maitland, will join us. A couple of reasons we're going to talk to the folks out at COM. They're involved with Jackie and Shadow, the two eagles up in Big Bear. She'll explain how. And they have an event coming up this Sunday from 9 to 2. It's called the Educational and Resources Festival out at the California Living Museum. So we'll talk with them. And then the highlight of the show, coming up at 5:05, gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton. It's a tough climb. Javier Becerra has put a pretty big lead. I'll be blunt with you about it. But like I said, at some point, I think there's going to be a turnaround because Javier Becerra, by his own Democratic colleagues, is incompetent. We played you. In fact, you might have to find that Hanoso audio where she says he was a horrible HHS secretary. And the most damning thing that she said, part of the Biden administration, was that she said, and you could ask anybody in the cabinet. That's damning. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody saying, you can ask anybody at AGM. Ralph Bailey is a POS. Ask anybody. And that's exactly what she said about Javier Becerra. And this knucklehead is about to become our next governor. Well, let's see if Steve Hilton can make a valiant comeback. We will talk to the gubernatorial candidate at 5:05. So keep it locked. In the meantime, I got to make a phone call. Got a birthday celebration we've got to get out there. We'll do that. And the White House Correspondents' Dinner is this weekend. We'll talk about that as well. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. I'd stick around if I you.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The president appears to be losing patience with leaders in Iran who refuse to make a deal. Correspondent Laura Winters reports.
For a 13th night in a row, those targets include communication networks, drone storage facilities, and military command centers. The president saying he is thinking about restarting major combat operations in Iran that would be larger than the strikes during Operation Epic Fury.
Meanwhile, the conflict pushed global benchmark oil prices to over $100 per barrel, their highest level since May. The price has since fallen to below $92 a barrel. The national average for regular gasoline continues to climb up now to $4.10 per gallon. The International Criminal Court chief prosecutor is removed from his post over sexual misconduct allegations.
The vote to oust British barrister Karim Khan came nearly 2 years after sexual misconduct allegations against him first came up. Khan was accused of sexual misconduct with a female aide, as outlined by the AP in a series of stories, allegations he has denied. By a large majority, the ICC's 125 member states ousted Khan from his position. That's the first time a chief prosecutor has ever been removed from office. I'm Haya Panchwani.
11 people charged with causing the deaths of 7 migrants by trapping them inside a cargo container in sweltering Texas heat. It happened in Laredo, Texas. The Trump administration wants soldiers to consider becoming truck drivers when they leave the military. A new campaign will promote programs that allow veterans who recently drove large military vehicles to skip the required skills test. More from townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
A spiritual leader who stood strong amid.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
What the young man had to say he saw happen. I'm Chris Davis. 45-year-old Rafael Estrada is on trial for the May 28th murder last year of his wife, Taylor, which happened at a house on Monterey Street at a family gathering. This week, his 13-year-old stepson testified in court that he saw his stepfather go into a back bedroom, lay on top of Mrs. Estrada, and cut her throat. The defense in the case is saying they believe if he is convicted, it should be for second-degree murder and not first, because the crime, they say, was not premeditated. Tuesday is the day that the Kern County Board of Supervisors will get to hear a presentation from the firm they hired after last year's death of 8-year-old Genesis Mata to look into whether there were any flaws in Kern County's child protective system that led to her death. KGET reports that the report from Social Policy Institute with San Diego State says that Kern County's system is where it is supposed to be, and there were no systemic failures. Life in Southwest Bakersfield changed for the chaotic Thursday morning when a crew installing fiber optic cable to support the data needs of the area nicked a gas main that supplies the gas needs of the area and forced the shutdown of the Town and Country Shopping Center, which supplies many needs of the area. That is on Coffee Road, north of Stockdale Highway. Everything is now fixed and stores are back open. Gas in California is now at $5.58 per gallon and has been inching up all week. The national average is now at $4.09, which is up about a dime since this time last week. That is thanks to oil prices being substantially back above $90 a barrel. The least expensive around here is $4.55 at stations in Kernville and Wofford Heights. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest, well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday, 24th day of July. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com and streaming live on YouTube for those watching. Lots to do on the broadcast. Coming up about the hour, Meg Maitland from the California Living Museum. A couple of reasons we're going to speak with Meg. And then in the 5, the man who could stave off another Democratic governor. We're hoping Steve Hilton makes a dramatic comeback. Polls aren't reading real well right now. I'll give you the honest truth. But Javier Becerra is a buffoon. and should never, ever be in charge of any state, Delaware, let alone the most populous state in the nation. But we will talk with gubernatorial candidate Republican Steve Hilton coming up at 5:05. And if you missed that, don't forget you can go on YouTube, just punch in Ralph Bailey, and you can watch or listen to the interview that we do with Mr. Hilton. But in the meantime, we got to make a quick phone call. He didn't get back with me with the other number, so just go ahead and call him. And we can congratulate him, and then he can turn the phone over to his lovely wife. I hope he's not listening. It is Tina Zucchini's birthday today, but I don't have Tina's number, so we're calling Chris Zucchini, the person I was talking about at the top of the show, who won his match today, match. And he's not going to answer the phone. That's just wonderful. Come on, Chris. Come on, Gazoo. Probably passed out from playing today. Got in 19 good holes.
You've reached Chris.
Okay. We'll try again later. In the meantime, KGT has reported that the DHS report, for those that, let's start from the beginning. DHS is a disaster, in my opinion. We had Lito Murillo in on here, and this was following the Genesis Mata situation where Ray Mata was investigated by our Child Protective Services. And despite being told by mandated reporters, despite being told by educators where Genesis Mata was missing classes, and that's a telltale sign of a problem at home, obviously, and then coming home with bruises. And they were told DHS was told 20 different times about this situation. And Ray Mata was investigated. And yet young 8-year-old Genesis Mata was tortured and murdered in a hotel just literally a mile, maybe 2 miles from where I'm sitting right now. And this can't happen. That can't happen once. Like, some people fall through the cracks, but if you are told that a child is being abused and you investigate whether that child is being abused and you don't separate that child from the family, do you know some of the horrid things? They had that child put the water in a microwave and then would take it out and pour it on her. And the fatal blow, according to our coroner, was Ray Mata punching an 8-year-old in the gut and knocking her out. That can't happen. That cannot happen. And this report supposedly says that they met, let me get this right, they're on par with state and national statistics. What the hell does that mean? Because KGT is reporting that some of the community feedback was poor communication, inadequate training, systemic inefficiency, staffing that was fearing retaliation by DHS. This is a problem. And I'm sorry, Mr. Murillo has to go. If you fail at your job, and your job is protecting our children, you have to go. And remember, we had them on here shortly after the Mata case became public, and I asked them at the very end of the interview, what grade would you give yourselves? And they said, we think we're an A. Well, then why did we just pay a consulting firm from San Diego $411,000? We just gave them an additional $200,000 last week, and they're not going to get the findings. KGT is reporting it now. I'm spitting out what KGT is reporting, but the Board of Supervisors won't see their findings until next week. And yet it was last week when those same Board of Supervisors okayed almost $250,000 to give to these people to tell us how to deal with our children. And what do you expect them to say? They've got a mark. They've got somebody on the hook. Of course they're going to say we're on par with national statistics. What the hell does that mean? When the people that deal with Child Protective Services and DHS complain, again, of inadequate training, poor communication. One woman, SPI, the group that we brought up to San Diego, quoted a community member who said, some youth, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my own writing. Some youth indicated their calls to their social workers were not returned timely or ever. That's not a passing grade. If the community is saying these people are poorly trained, they're not communicating with us, they're not getting back with us, and I don't know, there was a case called Ray Mata where they were told time and 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 time again that the child was missing class, that the child was showing up with bruises, and DHS and Child Protective Services did nothing to save that child. And I'm sorry, I put the death of Genesis Mata on that agency. Absolutely. And if Genesis Mata dies, having been told to DHS 20 different times that there's an issue, how many other kids are falling through the cracks? And remember, the chickens are going to come home to roost, because as I told you last week, there is an LA firm in the name of the Mata family, Genesis Mata, her side of the family, not Ray Mata's side of the family, that are suing. And believe me, these LA firms don't get in half-ass. If they don't have a case, they're not going to schlep their way up to Bakersfield and take a Bakersfield case unless they've got an absolute slam dunk. We are not only going to pay SPI $411,000 to tell us what to do, but now, because of our inefficiency and our inadequacy and our inability to communicate and our systemic inefficiency, we're going to have to write them a big check. The Mata family is going to get paid. I absolutely know they would rather have Genesis Mata alive than a seven-figure check, but they're going to get a seven-figure check. And if that's not enough for the Board of Supervisors to say enough with Murillo, then what is? What is? Where we've got to undergo audits, we can't self-audit, we can't self-examine? I just don't understand. And how this group, who is going to milk us for more money, they're under contract until June of 27. So right around next summer, they'll be telling us, well, we need another 6 to 8 to 12 months to really get underneath the situation and find out what's going on. This is a travesty. It's an absolute travesty. And this law firm, and I don't have my last week's or last month's legal pad with me, or maybe I do, but they mentioned several other cases, kids being abused and Child Protective Services just not reacting in a timely fashion. And I don't understand how these people keep their jobs. I don't understand why the Board of Supervisors would want these people in this position. If one child is neglected and abused, like Genesis Mata, that's one too many. But this law firm has got like 3 or 4 different cases. And again, as I say, I don't mean to be redundant, but if they told DHS and Child Protective Services 20 times about Mata, what about the kid that they only told about 5 or 6 times? Like, if they're ignoring an outstanding case like Genesis Mata, what other cases are they ignoring? And maybe it is just staff burnout, not enough people, not enough employees. But whatever it is, Murillo has to go because the fish rots from the head down. And this is unacceptable. We should all be livid about this. A little 8-year-old child who never had a chance and was never protected. It just doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely senseless. And I am so excited about this lawsuit because it all comes out in trials, Jack. It all comes out. Everything they know and all these cases that they've kind of hushed up and nobody's really talked about. It took the death and torture murder of an 8-year-old for anybody to really put any eyes on Child Protective Services. Have we ever talked about it? Has it ever been an issue in the news? No. But you get one outstanding case, and then you lift the rock, and you look underneath and see what's going on. And that's why this trial is going to be huge, huge. And then the pressure is going to be on. Murillo's got to go. He's got to go. He may be a very nice man. He may be a very hardworking man, but he's incapable, clearly, of protecting our children. It's a sad, sad case. Let's go ahead and take a break. We come back. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Meg Maitland is going to join us via the telephone, the Rogers branded global telephone network. I lied to you all. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is about 45 minutes away. I thought it was tomorrow night. They're having it at the Waldorf Astoria. This after 31-year-old Cole Allen thought he could sprint his way into the first initial White House Correspondents' Dinner and shoot the place up. But the Secret Service said, no. He is awaiting trial as well. There are a lot of bizarre murder trials going on right now. There really are. Take a quick time out, come right back. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, well, we'll get you the latest on oil prices based on our little adventure over there in Iran. We got that. We got the hot list. We got America's Job Center. We got a lot to do, plus state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here in News Talk 96.1 and AM 12.
Cooks that make up that entire family that Gino's put together over there. And you know what I always say? I personally would start in the delicatessen. Start looking at some of the merchandise, gifts for this Christmas or graduation, whatever, and say hello to Lynette. She's a great sommelier. She'll probably try to turn you on to some great Italian wines. Then head into the bar, have a cocktail with Julie as you're waiting to be seated. You're outside on the patio where Gino's got misters calming it down on a day like today, maybe inside or at the Bailey Bar perhaps. Where would you rather be? And of course, the warehouse that I talked about, I bet 90-95% of y'all have been at least to one event in that warehouse, which has been a game changer. It's got its independent bar and spacious area for memorials or birthdays or anniversaries, whatever. It's Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show. Hey, it's that man again, Ralph Bailey for St. Garrett Subaru. It's probably time to go on that summer trip. And what better way to travel than in a brand new Subaru? Now, if you want something sporty yet comfortable, then the choice is clear, an Outback. Plenty of room for the entire family. Plus, Outback gets 32 miles per gallon on the highway. And now, July 31st, lease a 2026 Outback Premium CDT for $229 a month for 36 months and $5,017 due at signing. Every Subaru comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Offer ends
Hey,
July 31st. So
have some happy birthday music ready.
Test drive a brand new Outback.
Where you going?
Paving the way for a better
Stevie?
5,500 gasoline alley drive to the Bakersville Auto Mall. $229 per month plus tax for 36 months. Total lease payment $8,869. $5,017 total due after signing. First month payment excludes tax, title, license, and $85 after fee. Lease cost $13,886, including tax and license. TSRP $37,287. No security deposit. Lease based on 7,500 miles per year. 50% per mile over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance. On approved credit. Expires July 31st, 2026. Includes optional equipment and dealer installed accessories. VIN number TY514370.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez. Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon, Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate all of my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his long-standing and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon for several months before turning 65.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. Hey, it's JR Flores, Patrick My Show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
You know, I still haven't seen Michael. Have you? Not that in the way. I'll wait until it's on HBO. I'll wait. It's on pay-per-view now, but it's like $19. All right, let's try that number one more time. I think we can make contact this time. Calling Chris Zucchini, just played in a match play that I participated in. But that's not what we're calling. We're calling to wish his lovely wife a happy birthday. My fellow Leo. Everybody's a Leo. Cassie Biddle's a Leo. I think Clayton Campbell is a Leo. Chris Zucchini on the Ralph Bailey Show. What's really going on? Hey, congratulations on the win, man. That was a gutsy pullout for you, man. It really was. I did too. When he had two putts to beat you on 18, I thought it was over. No, he really didn't.
I'll tell you what really helped me. He went first on 17, which normally you guys would let Roy and I go, like whoever had the box.
Right.
For some reason, you got first, and you stuck it to 8 feet, and that was such a good visual. You see your ball in the air and just land. I mean, I kind of almost followed that. Like
Yeah.
It was a good visual to see. You know, if somebody hits a crappy shot, get that visual in your head. So, yeah, I'm glad you stepped up and spoke one in there. That kind of helped me out.
And you made a gutsy bogey putt on 18 because I was like, man, you better make this to go to 1. And then walk us through what happened on 1 because I was sitting in the clubhouse watching you guys from the fairway.
I got hit my drive, down the middle. I didn't really catch it, so I was like 165 out, and he was in the bunker, so he punched out. And then I just hit a nice. I had to keep it low because I had a little branch in front of me, so I hit a little choke down 6 iron off the back of my leg to keep it low, and came out exactly how I wanted to, and stuck it to the left side of the green was all I really had to look at. So it was 10 high left, so it was a long putt. It had to be close to 40 feet.
Yeah.
And he came up short for the third. So I knew if I do putt it, I'd win the match, but easier said than done,
Yeah, no kidding.
40-footer, I think I ran it by about, overall I hit a good putt. I think I ran it by 3.5 or 4 feet, but made the one coming back to finish him off. Yeah.
Like I told the audience, his buddy, Mike, is your next opponent.
Yeah, I think it's Mark.
Is it Mark? I thought it was Mike. I hope it's not Mark.
Yeah, he is my next opponent. So it was good, to see his game, kind of what I don't think Mark's playing up to his expectations today, but none of it's really good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I told the audience that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have some, that's the good thing about match play. You have some really good holes. I think Roy had a birdie, I had a birdie, you had a birdie, or you had 2 birdies, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and then you have those holes where you're just, kind of out of it. But him and I never really had that many holes where one of us was out of it. It seemed like it came down to the last putt every hole.
Yeah.
It was that tight. I never was up more than 1 in the whole match.
Yeah. I told the audience at the top of the show it was fun to watch. And he should bring Roy, and we should just play that foursome again. When Mike or Mark, whatever his name is, and I'm sorry, Mike, if I got that wrong, but we should just play that foursome again. Because they're really nice guys. Really nice guys.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll bring that up to Mark. We're not going to play next week. We're going to play the week after.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe we'll try to do it a little earlier this time. So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been cool. We've been off at like 7 or 8. All right, where is your lovely wife? What? Tina, talk to me. Hang on a second, Tina. Hang on a second. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Tina. What do you got planned for the night?
go to Lure tonight.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, it's a little fish restaurant, got a Ventura.
All right, we guys be safe. Happy birthday, Tina. Just wanted to give you a little shout out. All right.
Thanks again for partnering up with me and riding with me today. It was, you were a good chatting coach.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it. No problem. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. You guys be safe. All right, have fun. Chris and Tina Zucchini. Love those guys. Love those guys. It's weird when you get old, man, when you think back. I've known Chris going on 20, 25 years now. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I used to dominate. We'd go back and forth and back and forth. I'm getting close. I'm getting close. I just still got those blow-up holes. You know, if I could just get rid of those holes where it looks like I have no idea what I'm doing, I could be shooting in the low mid 80s every single time I take it out. And I just don't want to go to Philadelphia and do stuff like I did today at any point, like missing the ball. You know what I mean? I rolled a 3-wood once, and I had two just green light specials from 80 yards and chunked a wedge. That just can't happen. That cannot happen. That's like a 180 bowler throwing in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? I bust my drive. I bust a 3-wood. I'm on a par 5. I got 80 yards. Just put it on the green. You got a birdie putt, 2-putt for 5, and go on to the next hole. And I squished and hit a pitching wedge about 35 yards. Now I'm on in 5, and I 2-putt for 6. Just doesn't make any sense when I should be putting for birdie and tapping in for bogey. And it's just those little 1 strokes, and then the big numbers, the 6s and the 7s, just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't. Anything on the board before we get to Miss Maitland?
Yeah, I got a couple.
What do you got?
Ralph the Movie Michael is coming next month to Stars. So get Stars or just order it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'll do. I don't think I have Stars. In fact, I'm about to roll back my cable. In fact, I really might get rid of DirecTV. I usually give them that line, and then they kind of cut down your. Are you guys aware of that? That's the greatest way you can do it. It's called either Spectrum or Direct, and tell them you want to cut them off and go to the opposite. They're like, wait, hold on, we can cut you a deal. Well, I'm sick of deals. I might just go, I don't know. How do you do it? You do it just by getting independent like Hulu and just separate. I might go that route. I'm so sick of this. I'm paying $2.90 a month.
Tell them this way.
It's ridiculous.
You know what the best deal is? 0.
Now, how does that work?
Not having to pay.
How does that work?
No, like not having to pay cable. Like the deal they're trying to catch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Meg Maitland joins us next.
Federal health officials report nearly 100 people in 17 states have been sickened in a salmonella outbreak linked to recalled eggs. The illnesses began between last November and June 30th. Shell eggs recalled by Midwest Poultry Services are the likely source. The Indiana-based company recalled eggs from Texas farms between June 6th and July 3rd. Federal health officials expanding the scope of their investigation into an outbreak of the diarrhea-causing parasite to 4 additional states, broadening the size of the largest U.S. outbreak of Cyclospora. Those 4 states: Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania. Previously, the investigation included 5 states: Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. And tropical storm Genevieve has formed in the Pacific Ocean. This is SRN.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Turn Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
The report from Social Policy Institute with the San Diego State University says Kern County's child protective system is on par with the national average, and there was not any systemic flaw that led to the death last year of 8-year-old Genesis Mata, reports KGET. That firm will present their findings Tuesday to the Kern County Board of Supervisors, which paid for the report. Gas in California is now at $5.58 per gallon and has been inching up all week. The national average is now at $4.09, which is up about a dime since this time last week. That is thanks to oil prices being substantially back above $90 a barrel. The least expensive around here is $4.55 at stations in Kernville and Wofford Heights. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Look, folks, you already know that your garage door is a very important part of your home, from the overall look of the place to the safety and security it provides. So obviously, you should only trust the service, repair, and maintenance of your garage door to the pros at King Door Company. Their skill and product knowledge are unmatched in the industry, and that's no accident. The techs at King Door are rigorously trained at the King Door Academy. That's right, King Door has an in-house training facility to make sure your job is done right on the first try. They're trained in all the latest equipment, tools, and techniques. They even learn how to listen to customer concerns through role-playing exercises. And you'll see how well all this training works when they show up right on time in fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and equipment to service or repair any garage door. Like I said, your garage door is a very important part of your home, so leave it to the pros at King Door Company. Schedule your appointment today at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, the company with the pride of a lion.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
A educational conversation between J.D. Vance and Bill Maher. This is the opportunity. This is the door that's been opened. You got 13 members now of the Democrat Party saying, "Hey, we like capitalism," and this is the opportunity for other Democrats that agree with Bill Maher that let's take our party back and let's get off this road to socialism.
Weekdays 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Return to sender. Return to sender.
And a letter to the postman. He put it in his sack. Uh-oh, Lisa. It's never good when Lisa texts in the middle of the show. Never good. You sound like you're in a bathroom on YouTube. We can't hear Chris very well either. Your friend on the phone and Bernie. Oh, it's because I hit the thing. My food hit the thing. My bad. I'm having a bad day. See, you can't get out of your routine. I can't play golf before the show. I just can't. Get out of my routine and the whole show goes to crap. And my phone is listening to me and writing this down as a text to Lisa. In the meantime, there's a lot going on at the California Living Museum, so we thought we'd call one of our favorite people out at the museum. Meg Maitland joins us. Meg, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm outstanding, and we understand that the size of your home has increased. True? False?
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm still at the lease stage, so we're due here in a couple of months. But yeah, we're very excited. Thanks for that.
So you haven't had the baby yet?
No, I haven't had it yet. No.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you had the baby already.
No, we're close.
Well, then why are you working? Go home.
happy to be part of an awesome place to work. So
Okay.
Can't always leave.
Very good. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Jackie, our Eagles, or your event coming up this Sunday?
Yeah, your call, friend. Whatever suits your fancy.
Well, let's talk about Jackie. They're our favorite couple, the Eagles, Jackie and Shadow. Explain to the audience what happened to Jackie and how you guys got involved.
So on that end, I have to leave that to Ojai as far as the transfer goes and things like that and her care as a whole, because they're working with her directly. However, on our end, we have a great partnership with Ojai Raptor Center. They're just a phenomenal facility that does a lot of work and takes in a lot of Kern County birds as well. And so we received an email from their vet team to our team just requesting some support for the eagle they had in their care and for a blood transfusion, because we have Spirit, our bald eagle here, and they were wondering if we'd be willing to set it up to give her to do some blood draws from her, so we can use that for to support the eagle they have in their care.
And do you know exactly what happened to Jackie? She got attacked by another eagle, apparently.
I think they caught some of that on camera, and just different, as she gets older, there's some other things that, potentially could be wrong. But I know their vet team is testing for a whole hoopla of things. And so until they officially confirm what the cause was, we don't know. In the wild, sometimes if an animal were to get sick, they're vulnerable to other animals, or if, age has anything to do with it, I don't know. I don't want to make any conjecture.
Sure.
But I know Ojai has been fantastic by giving updates regarding her care.
Yeah. And from what I saw on the news this morning, the folks up at Big Bear Valley are saying that the eagle that attacked Jackie is now kind of shacking up with Shadow. What's up with that, Meg?
Drama in the wild.
Yes, get a little messy up there in Big
It's
Bear.
better than reality TV, I gotta say.
The real eagles of Big Bear. Googly moogly. And isn't that peculiar? Because aren't they kind of like penguins that they kind of mate for life?
They typically do. I mean, they can live solitarily, as well. But typically, yeah, they'll stay bonded with their pair and their mate. But also, if their mate has gone, that changes the name of the game a little bit.
Yeah, if they leave the nest, literally, then it becomes a problem. I know you're probably not the person to ask this, but do you know anything about their eaglets and how they're doing?
I don't. I'm not well privy to their exact care, so I don't want to jump on and say anything that I'm not 100% sure about.
Yeah, I saw some footage of them. They look pretty healthy. They're starting to fly a little bit, so that's a good thing.
They've had a lot of clutches, and so far, it's very cool to be able to have a bird's eye view of just nature as a whole and being able to root for them. That's something we've really come out of all of this, is just how many awesome community members, not just from here. I mean, we're getting calls from, I got calls from Tennessee and New Jersey and emails and things like that. And it's such a cool thing to see all these wildlife advocates coming together on behalf of these two birds.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Very, very cool. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about before we get to your event is I read that there is more bear sightings going on throughout the state of California. Do you know anything about that? There was a video of a famous video that everybody was running on the news this morning, KTLA, KGET here locally, where this bear just walked into a business and literally opened the front door and came into a business. And that was the crux of the story, that there are more bear sightings going on because the bears are coming down. You want to expound on that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see that video?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on, we do have an increased population of black bear. They've had a relatively good year, is my understanding. And then also, we don't always take into this account that, people are also spreading out. So some of these places we're populating some more. And so we increase the amount of sightings because we're increasing the amount of people, right?
Yeah,
so
true.
That's definitely something to think about, is, oh my gosh, there's more bear. Well, it's like, well, yeah, because we're moving into bear territory and having to adjust to that. I don't know particularly for this story if that was just a local or things like that, but bears are opportunistic for a reason. And so that doesn't stop just because the opportunity happens to be in a business or a restaurant or a trash can or somebody's car. They're very creative in terms of making sure they get full bellies, especially, it's got a couple more months until it starts to get cold up there and they're getting ready to go to sleep. So.
Yeah. And I just got off the phone with a friend of mine because it's his wife's birthday, and we played in a match together today. And he literally has like 3, 4, maybe 5 bear incident stories. It's just incredible. Yeah, where he's encountered bears. That's why, when I travel, I need a bar, room service, and a pool, Meg. There's no outdoor, no, it's not happening.
If I were a bear, I'd also want a bar and a pool. And
See, that's the problem. That's why I need to be in room 347, not sleeping on the ground. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Meg Maitland is our guest. She's from the California Living Museum, where they've got an event going on this Sunday. Tell us all about it.
We do. So we have partnered with Univision, and Univision is the company that reaches out to a bunch of local vendors that are now going to be coming out to CALM. And so we have, I think, about 15 different vendors, things that are, out in the community, ways to support the community. And I know that it is both English and Spanish as well. And so they're doing a lot of outreach to the community. Even there's a group that's even giving out before school haircuts that are free, and really just doing an outreach to the community to let everybody know the great businesses we have around the area.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. It's 9 to 2, correct? Is
Yep.
that right? Yeah. Okay. Very, very good. I'll leave you with this. This has nothing to do with nothing and has nothing to do with you, but I just love you and just would love to get your thoughts on this. Any thoughts on my man Carl? I can't remember Carl's last name. The man who was catapulted by a 2,000-pound bison.
Oh, that video was insane.
Is that incredible? Is that incredible?
You know, he did all the things that he should have done, right? He, like, they were far away. He ran into the trees. He tried to dodge. He got his grandkiddo out of the way.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he as a person from, you know, what I know from watching news, like, you know, take that into account. But just it seems like he really is advocating to make sure that people are aware of nature. And it's not about the bull. It's about, you know, being advocates for wildlife. And you compare him to people that are sticking their kids on the back of bison.
Right.
And you're like, okay, well,
Stupid.
let's think about that. Or the selfie. See, I'm going to go take a selfie with a bison, right? Those are ones that, you know, to each their own. So,
And we've seen that. We've seen that. People
100%.
walk up to a sitting bison and try to take a picture with them.
No, you play silly games, you win silly prizes, right?
Yeah, exactly. You
But
get what you
on
deserve.
his regard, he really just was trained. He was far enough away, and there were people that were closer too. So it really just puts into perspective what these amazing animals can do, and really putting you on guard for sure.
Yeah. And what we found out later when he was in the hospital with 3 parts of his femur broken, boy, that had to be painful,
I bet.
was that, and because you don't see this in the video because the guy taking the video obviously dropped his camera to go help the guy.
Yeah.
But he talked in the, I don't know if you saw this interview, but he talked in the hospital that the bison was standing over him and could have gored him and killed him and stomped him, but just kind of huffed and puffed and kind of walked off.
Yeah, he proved that he was top dog, right? So,
Yeah.
hoofduck are really common like that. So moose and elk and all of those animals are, you know, won't hesitate to, you know, for you
Yeah.
and trample you.
Yeah.
And you think like, you know, oh, it's Bambi. And you're like, no, my first black eye I ever got was from a black-tailed mule deer.
Really?
So, yes.
How'd
And
that
so
happen? I would have loved to hear that story.
I was young and didn't know that. I think I was probably 18, right? So
Yeah.
I was working with these deer and didn't realize they have these glands on the front of their faces that open up when they are giving you a warning. And so I got up really close thinking it had a cut on its face. So rather than backing off because I, you know, didn't know, I stuck my face in its face thinking, oh no, you've got a cut on your face. And then proceeded to get hoofed in the face. And then I learned what those glands were, you know?
The
So
hard
everything's
way.
a learning opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. And so some of these stories I take into account of you don't know any better. And others, I think that maybe you're so unaware of the world around you
Yeah.
that, you know, you learn, hopefully, but that's kind of the background to it for sure.
Yeah, very good. Well, good luck with your event this weekend. I know it'll be a big turnout for you, and we appreciate you taking the time coming on the program. And are you having a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Oh, it's too bad. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Amazing.
I'm kidding.
I know.
I'm
Well,
just
I
joking.
appreciate you, sir, and again, thank you to the community for just the outpouring for spirit and you know, the support we've received just for the small part we've gotten to play in this incredible story.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. You guys played a role in that. Thanks again for taking the time. Have a great weekend.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Meg Maitland. I was joking about the girl. I was just joking. Everybody calm down. It's Friday. Have a little fun. Oh, that's too bad. Can't believe I said that. Oh, that's too bad. Matt Damon's a girl dad. There are a lot of girl dads. Matt Stafford is a girl dad. Kobe was a girl dad. Who else?
I believe The Rock is a girl dad.
Is he?
I believe so.
I think Tony Romo, who just got out of jail, I think he's a girl dad. There are a lot of girl dads out there. Matt Damon married this beautiful Colombian woman, and thank you, Jesus, all 4 of his daughters look just like the mom. You would think that Matt Damon had nothing to do with the biological representation, because they're the spitting image of her beautiful mother. who is producing movies with Ben Affleck, as a matter of fact. Found that out as well. Quick time out. We'll check the board. There's some folks talking in the chat room. I'll get back there as well. And then at the top of the hour, keep it locked. Gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton joins us in the 5. In the meantime, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, well, we'll get you the latest on oil prices based on our little adventure over there in Iran. We got that. We got the hot list. We got America's Job Center. We got a lot to do, plus state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here in News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
If you're a local businessman and you take your IT seriously, there are two things that you absolutely need to do. One, you need to listen to the Ralph Bailey Show on Wednesdays at 3:30 when Jennifer and Ryan Van Alstyne, owner-operators of Adaptive Networks, come in, basically talking to business folks on what you should be looking for, what should be alarm bells when people are coming back and fixing the same thing over and over again. And the next thing you need to do is pick up the phone and call the Van Alstynes at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638. 241-0638. As I have talked about so often, we have teamed up for almost a year with American General Media and Adaptive Networks because as a radio station, we absolutely depend on our IT. So we had to go to a team that was reliable, competent, and has the best customer service in Kern County. If you're a serious business person, call the folks at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638 or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Need your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230.
I'm listening, Ralph. That is from Michael. I think that might be the guy that I was playing golf with. Somebody else writes, I'm so glad LeBron is gone from the Lakers. I hope Bronny is gone as well. Wilt is a top 5 all time. I don't know about that.
Laker all time? No.
Yeah. He was at the end of his career when he came to the Lakers.
Yeah.
He played for us for only a couple of years. He was on that first LA championship team, that 71-72 team when we first moved to LA.
Top 5 name per se, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily put him in top 5 Laker, though.
I mean, yeah, he's one of the top 10 players ever. But, yeah, most of his career was at Philly battling Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Again, he was at the end of his career when he was with us. And he contributed to that 71-72 team that went 33 in a row, which was a record until – did Golden State beat it or Michael beat it? I think Michael and that 72-win team beat it.
Michael beat it first, then
Yeah.
the Golden State team won. Or had beat it.
The consecutive streak or just the total wins?
I think total wins.
Yeah, because we had 33 in a row. And then I think Jordan beat that.
They got close to the consecutive streak, though, because I remember talking about that, but
Yeah.
I don't think they actually took it.
And that's the year we beat the Knicks. And I've always talked about this. You know, I've always asked you this, and you always get it wrong. I don't know why, because I always ask you. Who were the 2 6 men on
Pat
the Lakers?
Riley, Phil Jackson.
There you go. Pat Riley and Phil Jackson were the 6 men on the Lakers and the Knicks during that championship run. Wilt is a 5 all-time, top 5 all-time. You can't deny his numbers and absolute athletic ability. They changed rules because he dominated. That is very true. He once averaged 50 points and 30 rebounds for the season. For the season. And then one year he got mad because they said he wouldn't pass the ball. So the next season he led the league in assists. I don't make this stuff up. Go look it up. I don't make this stuff up. Me too. Never liked LeBron, and I couldn't be happier he is gone. Amen. I have YouTube TV $80, says Mary. I might have to go that way. Mary also adds, but no streaming channel. But if you have a Roku TV, there are a lot of free channels, and Pluto TV has a lot of your classics TV shows, plus as a dedicated Love After Lockup channel.
Does actually. Pluto is something you should probably look into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically cable, but with more streamlined channels. Like Mary said, there are specific channels that only play specific shows. There's channels that hold old movies. I don't think it's Turner Classic,
Yeah.
but they're pretty good.
We got a pretty good Love After Lockup tonight, Jack, where it's coming to a head, where this one cat is trying to juggle 2 women, and they're both onto him. And tonight's the climax. Yes, I know. Anthony Leary says, why aren't you playing in the city amateur golf tournament at Sundale this weekend? Oh, is it this weekend? That means I'm not going to be able to play with Swaim and the boys. Because I suck. Are you kidding me? I couldn't compete with those guys. I'm still making 7s and swiping at the ball. I missed the ball twice on a downhill chip, trying to fluff it, and I literally missed the ball twice and had to make a 6 on a par 3. Doesn't make any sense because I can only take a triple because of my my handicap. You know what? They got my handicap down to a 15 now. That 83 a couple of weeks ago screwed me. I was a 16-6, and I'm a 15. And when I go play in Philly, you know, you got to show your USGA stats. You've got to prove that you are who you are. And I lost a stroke. It sucks. I like being a 16. What do you got on the board, Mr. Burdick, before we get to Steve Hilton, who's going to join us after the break?
I disagree with you,
Gubernatorial
Ralph.
candidate. Yes, go ahead.
Genesis Mata's family will not get a 7-figure settlement. They'll get an 8-figure settlement.
You could be right. You could be right. The way they tortured that child, and to learn that 20 like when the school is calling you, DHS, Child Protective Services, and saying that the girl is missing school and she's coming up with bruises, you've got to intercede. You've got to separate that child from that family until at least an investigation is conducted. Because I think in situations like this, and I don't know anything about Child Protective Services, I don't know anything about DHS, but if I were to run it, I would run it like this: you are guilty until we can prove you're innocent. Because if you give them the benefit of the doubt and you leave that child in that malicious, evil, despicable human beings' hands, the next thing we'll be reading about is an 8-year-old in a tub, tortured to death, punched in the stomach, allegedly by her biological father. It just doesn't make any sense. And how somebody can head an agency that allows people to die and keep his job is beyond me. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're bad at your job, you have to go. And if people die on your watch, by definition, you suck. You're incompetent. You're inefficient. Now, it may be just the system. Social work is difficult. I understand that. I'm no dummy. But this can't happen. And now we're writing checks to people. We just, like I said, we gave the San Diego group almost $500,000. Oh, and by the way, we'll find out what they determine next week. How does that work? Where you pay somebody first and then they tell you what their conclusion is after they get the check? And then they get an extension before we even know what work they've done? Like, if you talk, I'm sorry, I love these guys, but I'm sorry, you guys are in the play. Because I love Phil Peters, and I love David Couch, and I love Jeff Flores, and Leticia Perez. Well, but I think if you asked any of them, tell me about this group from San Diego. Tell me about them. How many days were they up here? How many hours did they work? We know from KGT how many people they interviewed, who they talked to, et cetera, but I want to know hours. If we're going to pay them almost $500,000, I want to know how long were they up here, what days were they working, how long were their days of work, who did they reach, were they just here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, were they just here Tuesday, Thursday, or were they here just Wednesday? And all this information should be on our fingertips. We should all be, this should be available to us when people are dying. Call me crazy. And again, this lawsuit is going to bring out a number of other cases, because if they didn't react to 20 warnings about Genesis Mata, what about the child that only got 3 calls or 5 calls or 7 calls? If they were ignoring 20 calls, you know other children fell through the cracks. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That Murillo has that job right now is crazy. Crazy. And then this group comes up here and says, well, they're on par with national and state statistics. What the Sam Hill does that mean? When the community is saying they're not communicating, they're not returning calls, and if they do, they're extremely late, they're inadequate training, systematic inefficiency. But if you pay a group to come up here from San Diego, they'll tell you whatever they're on a par with national and state statistics. Well, maybe the state and national statistics suck. Quick timeout. Gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton is next.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Well, I'm John Scott. The U.S. military hitting various targets in Iran for 13th night in a row. Correspondent Laura Winters reports.
President Trump appears to be losing patience with Iranian leaders who refuse to make a deal. The U.S. military taking out targets in Iran, including military command centers and drone storage facilities, for a 13th night in a row. The president telling Axios he's considering a massive attack on Iran, bigger than ever before, and that he is close to a decision.
And the U.S. military says it has fired on another merchant vessel that was trying to breach its blockade of Iranian ports. American forces disabling the MT Levine in the Gulf of Oman. The White House rolling out its latest nuclear energy initiative.
President Trump announced a major nuclear energy milestone from the Oval Office.
So these are the first new privately funded advanced reactors to turn on the United States in over 4 decades, and making sure that these groundbreaking designs were safe to build and test so quickly was a challenge that required a historic partnership between these innovative companies and our administration.
The White House says the administration is working to accelerate nuclear energy as demand for reliable electricity continues to grow. Willie Nelson, the White House.
In health news, the number of measles cases in the U.S. has now surpassed the record-breaking tally for all of 2025. with 5 more months of 2026 still to come. Bernie Bennett reports.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention logged 2,318 cases of measles as of Thursday. The nation had 2,289 cases in 2025, the worst year for measles in more than 3 decades. Now, 2026 has easily become the U.S.'s worst year for measles since 1991, as major outbreaks in South Carolina, Utah, and Arizona have sickened hundreds, and small clusters of cases sparked in other states. I'm Bernie Bennett.
More on these stories from townhall.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
Police in New York City investigating two.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
What the young man had to say he saw happen. I'm Chris Davis. 45-year-old Rafael Estrada is on trial for the May 28th murder last year of his wife, Taylor, which happened at a house on Monterey Street at a family gathering. This week, his 13-year-old stepson testified in court that he saw his stepfather go into a back bedroom, lay on top of Mrs. Estrada, and cut her throat. The defense in the case is saying they believe if he is convicted, it should be for second-degree murder and not first, because the crime, they say, was not premeditated. Tuesday is the day that the Kern County Board of Supervisors will get to hear a presentation from the firm they hired after last year's death of 8-year-old Genesis Mata to look into whether there were any flaws in Kern County's child protective system that led to her death. KGET reports that the report from Social Policy Institute with San Diego State says that Kern County's system is where it is supposed to be, and there were no systemic failures. Life in Southwest Bakersfield changed for the chaotic Thursday morning when a crew installing fiber optic cable to support the data needs of the area nicked a gas main that supplies the gas needs of the area and forced the shutdown of the Town and Country Shopping Center, which supplies many needs of the area. That is on Coffee Road, north of Stockdale Highway. Everything is now fixed and stores are back open. Gas in California is now at $5.58 per gallon and has been inching up all week. The national average is now at $4.09, which is up about a dime since this time last week. That is thanks to oil prices being substantially back above $90 a barrel. The least expensive around here is $4.55 at stations in Kernville and Wofford Heights. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm gonna make them an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast, final hour of the week, as we wrap up another 5 days of outstanding radio broadcasting right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Still lots to do in the final hour. Coming up, bad news for CBS sportscaster Tony Romo, who was popped in Milwaukee for operating while intoxicated. We'll kind of speculate. Is that going to impact his career? Would CBS let him go? Break up that team between him and Jim Nantz? I doubt it. And I've got some miscellaneous audio that I'm going to play for you. It's just kind of stuff that I picked up that I think is kind of interesting. And the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which was interrupted by a 31-year-old named Cole Allen, who faces multiple felony charges, including attempted murder. That is just about to get underway, where the president is expected to speak. He is there, and I can see him as we speak. But in the meantime, we are honored once again to invite and have the Republican gubernatorial candidate with us, Mr. Steve Hilton. Mr. Hilton, thanks again for coming on the program.
Wonderful to be back with you. Thank you.
Where do we find you on this Friday?
Down in San Diego.
Yeah.
We were in LA the last couple of days, back in LA, Toronto, and Orange County. We just really launched our general election campaign this week, Boyle Heights in East LA, a working class Latino community totally devastated by Democrat incompetence and failure. It's a symbol of what's happened across our state. Democrats have abandoned the working class, abandoned the Latino community. Everything is so insanely expensive. Working people, small businesses being crushed. We did our event at a small business right opposite that warehouse that was allowed to burn for a week with no one taking any kind of urgent action. And then since then, it's now 5 weeks on, the whole place, you've got 85 million pounds of rotting meat.
That's
right
crazy.
there. You've got flies, rats, disease. It's just unbelievable. And that's why we chose to do the event. It wasn't exactly pleasant, but it just symbolizes what we're fighting against. And the message of this phase, the most important of our campaign, the general election, me against Becerra, enough is enough. Let's fix California. We're talking to everyone in California who wants a change, and that is now a majority.
Yeah. Let's start, although we've already begun, with the question that I start with all of our would-be candidates. Tell our listeners why you should be elected governor.
Because I've got a very clear plan. It's called Califortable. $3 gas, cut utility bills in half, your first 150 grand tax-free, starter homes for young families. I am a pragmatic problem solver with business experience, government reform experience, and the determination to take on the machine. I'm an outsider. I'm not part of this corrupt system. I'm going to Sacramento to shake up the system and deliver real results for working people and small business. Most of my career actually been in business. I was a small business owner myself, started and ran a couple of restaurants amongst other businesses. Businesses, working people being crushed in California. And it's so offensive to me, the pain that's being caused on gas prices, electric bills, the red tape and regulations, the taxes. My goodness, we pay the highest taxes in the country for the worst results. All of this is avoidable. We've got everything going for us in California. We've got amazing natural beauty and resources and the best people and the incredible climate, weather and beautiful places to go and universities. Everything is here that we need to have an amazing life. The California dream, we used to call it. And all we got to do to get back to that is stop doing stupid things.
Yeah. We are essentially a one-party state. We knew this battle would be an uphill battle for you up against a Democrat, even an incompetent Democrat like Javier Becerra. The numbers don't look good right now, but there's still a lot of time left. How do you make this dramatic comeback?
Yeah, well, I don't. It's exactly what the numbers I think you're talking about. There was a poll the other week. It was the first one.
Yeah.
It basically just added up the primary results. That's what it did. So if you look at the primary, I got 25%. Chad Bianco got 10%. If you add up all the other Democrats, it's 65%. This poll had me at 36, the Becerra at 61. Yeah, that's a big gap. That's before we start the campaign. That's literally before we've started. And so for us, that's a useful baseline to be aware of. And we've got our own private poll, which we conducted to give us a sense of the pathway to victory and what we have to do to answer your question. And here's the number that we got, which is not out of line with the overall number. I had in our poll, this is not for public consumption, but I'm just using it to answer your question. 33% solidly for me. For Becerra, 41% solidly for him, who are going to vote for him regardless. Then you've got 26% who are really undecided, who are up for grabs. In the broad headline poll, they get pushed one way or the other. You got 26% who are up for grabs, not happy with the way things are going. They're not particularly ideological. They're not strongly associated with any one party. They tend to have voted Democrat in the past, but they're just looking for some relief from this insane barrage of taxes and fees and costs and regulations and nonsense. Most of that 26%, that's how we win, right? We got to win the majority of that group. And so we got to understand who they are. Well, if you look into the details, they're mostly working class, not college educated, slightly Latino, and that's who we're talking to. That's the way we do this, because another number that there's just been in a poll, 66%. 66% of Californians believe not just that it's time for change, but the state needs a total overhaul. So there really is an opportunity this year. What we've got to do is get people to see the potential, to see that actually this time you really do have a choice. That's why we ran ads this week as well in the LA Times and San Francisco Chronicle and those places that, look, you can be anti-Trump, but still vote for me. There's a lot of people in California who are, they don't like the president. I understand that, may not even think of themselves as Republicans, don't like Republicans, but desperately want change in California. And that's the group that is going to decide this election. And our job is to show that I'm a pragmatic problem solver, not an ideologue. I don't want to tell anyone how to live their life. I just want everyone to live the life that they want to live in a way that's affordable and safe and secure and provides the opportunity our state is known for.
Yeah. Republican gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton is our guest. You talked about choice. You may have single-handedly changed our primary system, because I think Democrats got a little nervous when they saw you get into the final two in this jungle primary. They're already talking about scrapping it and getting rid of it. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, it's always been ridiculous. I mean, people should have a proper choice. And there was, whether the possibilities to Republicans or to Democrats, that should not be a possibility. That's ridiculous. And it's an insult to everyone whose voices wouldn't be represented in that kind of debate, if you can call it that. And look at that. Look what's going on in LA right now because of the way it worked there. You've got the utterly useless incumbent mayor, Karen Bass, and what's the choice? A socialist, far left lunatic, basically, who's aligned with the extremists that you're seeing pop up across the country. I mean, my parents are Hungarian. They fled communism, so I know what that's like. And the idea that you're going to have that in LA, no, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's the result of this top two system. So even before I succeeded within it, I was arguing very strongly to get rid of it.
Yeah. Let's assume you make a dramatic comeback and defeat Javier Becerra, and you are the governor of this Democratic-dominated state, this Democratic-dominated legislature. What can you get done as a Republican? Beyond vetoing.
No, I mean, you remember that the governor runs the executive branch. The executive branch is where all this nonsense is coming from. These agencies and boards and commissions. The Coastal Commission, CARB, the California Air Resources Board. Look at our great oil industry being crushed. I mean, one of the ways we're going to get to $3 gas is to open up our oil and gas industry, in particular our oil industry. Where's that coming from? It's an agency called CalGEM, California Geologic Energy Management, refusing to issue the right kind of permits, along with the water board. So I just think that it's very important. Now, if you're properly prepared, you know what you're doing, you know how government works, you know your plans, you've got the names of the people that you're going to put in there, you are going to have a really big impact. And that's exactly the position that I'm in.
Yeah.
Most of these things, I mean, you can extend it beyond the economic stuff. The State Board of Education, that's what's pushing. That is that board that's pushing the insanity in the classrooms with these, the ethnic studies curriculum that's being pushed, even though less than half of our kids in public schools can read properly. That the governor appoints all 12 members, and so that's a really important power. And then you direct their work with executive orders. The other point is the governor who writes the budget. The budget is the main policy-making vehicle for the state of California. The governor writes the budget, sends it to the legislature in January. Yes, there's then a process of back and forth. That's true. But the veto, I want to go back to the veto power. So if you look at the budget, that's how most things are determined in terms of what the government does. You propose it in January. In May, it comes back. It's called the May Revise, which after the legislature has had some time on it. And then you can have a line item veto. You can delete things. You defund all these agencies. Make their budget zero if you want. Now, you will point out that the legislature has, if they've got a 2/3 majority still, obviously I'm fighting hard to change that.
Yeah.
They can overturn a governor's veto. Well, do you know the last time that the legislature overturned the veto? 1979. They don't like doing it. Why? Because then suddenly they are forced to justify all these things that are actually not popular. And up till now, we've had, especially in these 16 years of one-party rule, all this stuff just gets pushed through without any kind of challenge or scrutiny. They just shove it all in, endless bills. Last year, they passed 1,118 bills in the legislature. Goodness knows the sort of nightmares that are lurking in that. Most people don't even know. They don't read them. There's no scrutiny. There's no pushback. Well, I've said very clearly that I will veto everything that doesn't make life easier, more affordable, more safe for California families and businesses. And good luck to them. They can try and overturn it, but then they have to justify it. And most of these things are literally unjustifiable.
Yeah. You make allusion to $3 gasoline, which would be great as a national average, let alone in California, where it's almost $6 a gallon. How can you, as a state governor, impact the global market?
Well, remember that right now, our gas it's not just the global market, because there's something peculiar and extra expensive about California.
True.
We were just a couple of weeks ago, we filled up in LA and made a video, $6.49 it was back then. This is like 3 weeks ago, I think. And we went to Texas for a couple of events, and then the East Coast. Next day, literally the next day, Texas, $3.49. $3 higher in California than Texas. It's the same global market, same global situation. Before the Iran war, there were 40 states in America where gas was $3 or below. So it's just not true to say that this is some impossible thing. It's just that we've got used to these crazy policies in California. Why is gas $2 higher when we have abundant oil reserves? It's entirely the result of policies here in California that make the gas more expensive. A combination of the taxes, the regulations, the shutting down of domestic production. Now you've got pipelines shutting down as a result of that. You've got we're under capacity for gasoline. I mean, we use about 800,000 barrels a day gasoline. Now we're only up to 550,000 being refined because that whole disaster. So now we're importing not just crude oil, but finished gasoline coming from, the crude oil is coming from Iraq and the Amazon, and the gasoline is coming from places like Turkey and South Korea and India, half of it using Putin's oil. It's totally insane. I talk to the industry the whole time, all the time, national leaders in the industry as well as in California. There's a very real risk, if we don't change direction, that we are going to run out of dock space, port space, to even import gas. We won't even be able to import it. There's no pipeline of oil into California. There's none. You can't bring it from Texas or wherever. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It has to be shipped in. We are running out of port space to import gasoline.
Yeah.
We are facing a massive, not just higher costs, the estimate from USC, $8 gas, if we don't change direction. There'll actually be shortages. We'll have gas lines. I mean, this is a real crisis if we don't change direction right now.
Again, Steve Hilton is our guest, gubernatorial candidate on the Republican side. I'm running out of time. I'll leave you with this. Well, give you one final opportunity to tell our listeners why they should vote for Steve Hilton.
Because we've got to change direction. Enough is enough in California. We can't go on with this. And to everyone listening who may not be necessarily a Republican, just say, look, why do you think that it makes sense to vote the same way and expect a different result? It's very simple. You've got a guy, Becerra, who's a 36-year career politician in the Democrat machine in California, who 100% agrees with all the policies that have given us the highest cost of living, the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate in the country, the worst business climate. He is 100% signed up to all of that. He said so. He's going to bring more of the same, and we cannot go on like this. It's time for change. I've got a common sense, positive, practical platform to bring down your costs, to make life easier for small businesses in particular, and to fix California. It's very simple.
Yes. Most pundits would say, with the apparent deficit that you're facing, that you're going to have to step up a tax on Javier Becerra. Can we expect that in the coming months?
You can expect that in the coming days. So stay tuned.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for taking time. Good luck to you, and we'll possibly talk to you again before November.
Of course, would love to. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Good luck. Steve Hilton, the Republican gubernatorial candidate. It's an uphill climb. The numbers are not very positive right now, but there's, as I said earlier today to Chris Zucchini, a lot of golf left, son. A lot of golf left. And we've got a little time left, November. But again, as I always say, it's not enough to vote. It's not. You got to talk to your friends. You got to make sure that they're registered. You got to make sure that they're going to get to the polls. Talk to your older family members. Make sure that they can fill out their mail-in ballots correctly, or make sure they get to the polls. We really have to reach out. We have a rare opportunity, because I'm telling you, Javier Becerra is a mess, and everybody knows it. And this is just about partisan politics, where Democrats, we only hope they stay home. Mr. Hilton can amass some momentum in these closing months, and perhaps we can squeak out a big, big upset that is so incredibly needed here in the state of California. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about, wrapping this thing up. Then I've got some miscellaneous audio to play for you at the bottom of the hour. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230, where we stream live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
Because I think I might finally be growing up a little bit. There's not a lot of things from your childhood that you will see that just snap you back to a better time just instantly and fill your heart with glee. A perfectly restored, 100 points out of 100, restored Honda Trail 90.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
You know, it must be nice to be able to retire like Serena Williams and then say, I'm unretired. But for most of us, that's not the case. When we hang it up, that's about it. That's why you've got to be prepared for the late fourth quarter in your lives. And that's why I always stress that the smartest financial move I have ever made happened about 10 years ago when I became a client at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And the other thing I always remind you about, I've turned on colleagues here at American General Media to Daniel, and they could not be happier about what Daniel has done for them financially. Call Daniel Petrie at 395-9400, 395-9400, or just tune in on Thursdays. He appears here every Thursday at 4:30, and his office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-22
9898.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Great song. Only love you when they're playing. 842-5376, 842-KRN. We got a couple of minutes. What do you got on the board?
I haven't taken a bath in decades.
I hadn't either until my shower pooped out on me and I had to change heads. And then I started to dig it. I really did. Particularly after I play golf and I can just sit and just kind of, although I miss one of my favorite things is turning my back to the shower and just having that shower head just right at the base of the back of your head. Oh, that's a great feeling. It really is. But in fact, I have the company, what do you call that? It's not a wrench. What do you call a wrench with two handles? What happened to Chris Burdick? Chris? Oh, Chris. I've absolutely lost my producer. What's going on? Are you all right? Dude, are you all right?
I'm not feeling well. Give me a sec.
Holy Toledo. My producer is ill. Oh my goodness, you do not want to hear what's going on in there. I shouldn't laugh at something funny. I've been there. I have been there. What the Sam Hill brought that on?
I've been fighting a migraine since about 2.
And it makes you vomit? Is this a lifetime thing? Holy Toledo. Ooh. Well, on that note,
sorry about that.
You okay?
I'm good. What's funny is the migraine itself, gone.
As soon as you vomit, it disappears?
Sometimes, but no, I took ibuprofen a couple hours ago, and it's been slowly working itself off, but I have nothing in my stomach.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
So this is the ibuprofen now, hitting me in the gut.
That sucks. Last half hour of the broadcast, an ailing Burdick and a really tired Bailey. Don't go anywhere.
The U.S. military firing on another merchant vessel that was trying to breach a blockade of Iranian ports. American forces disabled the MT Levine in the Gulf of Oman after the ship attempted to run the blockade at least 4 times. Captain Tim Hawkins, U.S. Central Command, stressed that the ship's crew was warned and did not comply with demands. Massive forest fires raging out of control in southwestern France and central Spain, forcing authorities to evacuate around 200,000 people. Dozens of firefighters injured. No deaths have been reported. The U.S. surpassing 2025's record of measles cases with 5 months left in 2026. The CDC logging more than 2,300 cases of measles. Major outbreaks in South Carolina, Utah, and Arizona have contributed to the rise. This is SRN News.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
13-year-old boy recounted this week seeing his stepfather, 45-year-old Rafael Estrada, lay down on his mother and cut her throat at a house on Monterey Street, May 28th of last year. Estrada is on trial for the murder of Taylor Estrada, and the defense is arguing it was not premeditated, so they don't believe a first-degree conviction is appropriate. It may seem like a little mistake, but it may have cost some people hundreds or thousands of dollars. It was a fiber optic cable installer who hit a gas main Thursday morning off Coffee Road north of Stockdale Highway in southwest Bakersfield. When that happened, gas started leaking and the entire Town and Country shopping center had to be shut down. The line has been fixed and all of the businesses were eventually reopened. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it. And it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more. And I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Judge blocks the Virginia law barring ICE agents from wearing a mask. Can you believe that? Can you believe they have to have a law prohibiting masks? That's the insanity going on. A judge ruled that it's likely unconstitutional. All they had to do was get a message from the DOJ. Excuse me, but that's unconstitutional. Go away. Swat them like a fly.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
In here, where was I left off? Mary Marcus.
I believe we left off on Wilt.
Why aren't you playing in the city amateur? That's where we left off. Yeah, because I suck, Anthony. I'm not good enough to play with those guys. Somebody else was, gosh, he has a terrible accent, and he was a Fox reporter. I wish Bianco would have won. Let's be honest, Ralph, no chance. Well, I was very critical. I like Chad Bianco. We had him on a couple of times. He's being supported by the sheriff and Angela Barton, two people that I respect and like quite a bit. But it just didn't work. It was a bad campaign, to be honest with you, if I have to be blunt. The sheriff thing works when you're running for sheriff. The sheriff look, the boots, the jeans, the white shirts with the two pockets on the breast and the sheriff insignia. That works when you're running for sheriff. But it doesn't work when you're running for governor. You're trying to run a state. and you should look like the governor. You should have a suit on everywhere you go, or just a plain white business shirt. You can't look like a cowboy. You can't look like a sheriff, because that's not what you're trying to do. And I just thought that was a bad look. I thought Mr. Bianco did not handle the kneeling situation, where Mr. Hilton cast him as kneeling with Black Lives Matters, and I think he just got angry and became an opponent of Steve Hilton, when we're supposed to be all on the same team and trying to get one of us involved. I think it would have been smart for Mr. Bianco to cut out at the end when it was clear he was not going to be one of the two, and throw his undying, full-throated support behind Steve Hilton. I think that would have served him well in the future, but he stubbornly stayed in the race, and, you know, you could argue damaged Steve Hilton's chance in the general, although, you know, as the texter writes, it's a 25-point lead with a Hispanic in a state like California against a British TV personality. The chances are slim. But, you know, as my father used to say, you never know. You never know. You never know. But we'll see. I just wish he'd run a different campaign that could, I mean, you've got to, this is a big state, and it's a liberal state. And you just can't try to shove in a round peg in a square deal. You've got to modify and this is why I hate politics. And this is why I won't get into politics ever, 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 because you've got to modify yourself. You've got to, you know, there's a part of manipulation that goes into politics. Yes, you have to be yourself. You can't pretend to be somebody, but, you know, just things like the look. That's what I'm talking about, and how you approach the campaign and how you go about it. And I just don't think Mr. Bianco really had a clue. I mean, he's a county sheriff trying to run a statewide election. You need experience at this kind of thing. You just can't jump in and think that because you're a large county sheriff, you can pull off in a Democratic, very liberal state, something like that, and then not even like try to modify your look and your way about you. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. I'm just kind of rambling. What else you got?
Ralph, take a quick shower before you get into the bath. It'll cut down on the cleaning of the tub.
Before I get into the tub?
Isn't that counterproductive?
Yeah, my dad always said you should take a shower after, because for the reasons that Chris mentioned at the beginning of the show, he got that from me because my father told me this. Baths are nasty. And I was like, what do you mean baths are nasty? He said, you're laying in your own filth. And I go, come on, Pop. It's mostly soap. Yeah. I mean, you know.
The scum, though, does kind of, ew. You're right. That's mostly on the sides of the tub, if you leave it that way.
My dirt is like at the bottom front. And
all right, so
and
by
you
front, you mean where the drain is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
where and it's like.
It all accumulates there.
Yeah, it's just so disgusting.
But I can say, as somebody who only takes showers, because I don't take baths really.
Yeah.
You're still going to dirty up your tub, because I have a tub shower.
Yeah.
Just walking around in that thing is going to make it dirty. You got to clean it regardless.
Yeah, true. Well, you know, I've been Amazon crazy lately. So Amazon crazy that I got something the other day and I had no clue what it was.
Uh-huh.
I did.
You just got an order, a package.
I've been ordering clothes for Philly. I've been ordering.
You know what? A caller called in and told me about this or what happened while I was gone. What is this? That you got you had a package that you had no idea where it came from?
I don't know where
headphones or something.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I ordered it or is it somebody else's.
Well, they were claiming, and again, I've actually meant to tell you this. Hopefully, they're listening, but they claim that they gave you bad information last week about it. That the headphones are completely fine. Just don't mess with anything. Like if there's paperwork or anything in there that tells you to do something, don't do that.
Yeah.
They're claiming it's a phishing scam that way. I've never seen them go through your mail to scam you like that, but it's entirely possible. We're in the new age. Who knows?
Well, it was a weird address. It it was 23rd Street was the address.
Uh-huh.
And there are no residents on 23rd Street.
No, not a single one.
Not a single one. And it just popped up on my front door. And so I've left it on my coffee table because there is a guy that plays the guitar, and this somehow has something to do with the guitar.
It's probably that. It's probably like, I'm assuming these are headphones that you could plug into your acoustic guitar.
But here's the thing, but here's the thing that I didn't really tell the audience. The day that it came, I got a message that my package had arrived. But then I got another package the next day, and that's what I assumed that it was alluding to. That's what I'm saying. I'm ordering so much crap, I don't even know what it is. I really don't. Like, you know what I just got, and what started this whole conversation was the cleaning of the tub, because I ordered this. Have you seen the big, like, brush thing that they have for cleaning tubs? You
I've seen it, don't own it, but I have seen it.
Well, I'm stupid enough that I ordered it, and it came in like a little package because the handle is all folded up into 4 different pieces, and then there's like a big brush. But I've gone crazy. I just ordered a bunch of polo shorts, and I don't know why I do this, because it's like hit or miss. Like some of the stuff, like the Lacoste stuff that I have, and some of my polo stuff, money. But some of the stuff, it's kind of cheap. The material's kind of weak, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But I am a internet shopping fool. I hate going to the Valley Plaza. Why do I have to go to the Valley Plaza?
You're going to the Valley Plaza to see, no.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
Odysseus. I'm sorry.
Odysseus. That's
Or
where I'm
Odyssey.
going. Yeah, I am going to go see Odyssey. I am going to see Odyssey.
You know, you got me mixing them up. I was thinking that you're going to the marketplace. You're not. You're going to Valley Plaza.
I wish, because I want to go hit that golf joint.
I've been inside that Just Wing It so many times in my life. I have no idea where they put that.
Where is the Wing It? Is it
Just Wing It in the marketplace is right next to, oh God, what was that?
Was it the Mexican or the Chinese place? Is that
no? Okay, so Mexican restaurant side.
Okay,
but you go up a little bit.
Is that Pasa?
Yes, next to the old. I don't even know if it's Pasa anymore. It may not be Pasa anymore.
Yeah.
But it's on that side. You keep going up about midway.
Where there used to be a Baskin Robbins, or is there still a Baskin Robbins?
There is no Baskin Robbins there anymore. No.
Damn.
Now it's a, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Chinese food place, but it's right next door to the Chinese food place. It looks like a bar from the outside because it is technically. It's a bar, but that's what I'm saying. Is like I've been in there a million times. I have no idea where they put this thing. I haven't been in there a long time, so they may have expanded it since. But
yeah, well, you don't really need that much room.
Fair.
You know, you could do this in a room this size. You know what I mean?
Fair.
With a net and a little tee and a little deal, and then all the mechanisms tell you the speed of your club and this kind of thing. Man, I was crushing my drives today. I was hitting my drives in spots that I've never been. That's why, God, that par 5, Jack, where I just busted my drive. I was in a spot that I've never been. I hit a pretty decent 3-wood, and I had 81 yards to the center of the green, and I hit a pitching wedge 35, 40 yards, about halfway there. Just can't happen. Just can't happen. I've been waiting to say this all day, really all week. Final break of the week as we head to the weekend. And I don't even have to play golf tomorrow because I got my 36 holes in this week. And although Anthony tells me the damn amateur is at Sundale, so I may not be playing Sunday. I got to check in. In fact, I'll check in with Mr. Swaim right now. Please stand by while I do this. Let's just put in Mark. M-A-R-K, not America. Are you guys playing Sunday? Question mark. We'll find out here in just a minute. But keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. Monday. I have no idea what we're doing Monday. No idea. And I become a short timer. It's my final week before vacation next week. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I just thought I'd mention it.
Countdown clock has begun.
It really has. You have no idea.
Oh, I don't. Trust me. Mine
Yeah,
was
you
a
just
couple
got
weeks
back.
ago.
JR's on it, and I'm going to be gone. Final time out of the night. You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1230. We stream live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, well, we'll get you the latest on oil prices based on our little adventure over there in Iran. We got that. We got the hot list. We got America's Job Center. We got a lot to do, plus state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here in News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your savings? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage you to speak with my friends at Birch Gold Group about diversifying an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn more by requesting a free info kit on gold IRAs. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Text SECURE to 989898.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Before you hit the road for the holidays, make sure your car is ready for the journey. Kern Oil Change keeps your engine running smooth and your family safe. No appointments needed. Just drive in and their fast, friendly team will get you back on the road in minutes. Don't wait till you're stuck on the side of the road. Stop by Kern Oil Change today and travel with confidence this holiday season. Kern Oil Change has 2 locations to serve you: 3706 Coffee Road and 5651 Auburn Street. Kern Oil Change is open 7 days a week. Follow us on Instagram for additional savings.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Too dark to see.
Knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knocking on heaven's door. What's for dinner tonight, Mr. Berg?
I actually don't know. Leftovers, maybe?
The only thing edible in my home right now are Mark Swain eggs. About 4 recently bought avocados, which means they're not ready. Because I like to buy them hard. I get them hard at Lawson's, and that way they sit for because if you buy them soft, the first one is great. But if you don't eat the second one the second day, by the second or third day they're worthless. You know what I'm saying? So I like to buy them firm so they can sit for a little while, and I don't have to eat them immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'll be eating this weekend. I'll be eating a lot of that because I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow. And I have not heard back from Mr. Swain because apparently, according to Anthony Leary, the amateur is going to be held out at Sundale. I wonder why they always hold it at Sundale. Don't they have it? I mean, Sundale's a great track, but it's, I think, one of the easier tracks. I mean, I just shot an 83 there. I mean, it's not that hard a track. And the greens are very flat. You know, that's what's such a trip when I play BCC and then I play Sundale in the same weekend. It's just like night and day because everything, man, I had a 4-footer today that broke at the hole. Like I played it straight and I didn't hit it firmly. I think I've hit it firmly enough, it would have gone through the break. But if you hit it firmly and you miss, now you got a 4-footer coming downhill. It was an uphill putt. And I mean, it got to the hole and I was walking it in and it just breaks off. It just curves off. And you really don't have that at Sundale. Most of the greens are kind of flat. All the greens at BCC run from front to back. So if you're over the pin, you know, you're just trying to two-putt. You're really not trying to make it. Let's read a couple of text messages and let me try to figure out what's for dinner. If I wasn't dressed like a bum, I'd go to Casey's Steakhouse. But I'm not changing. I'm not going home and changing. That ain't happening. And I don't know. I'll go like this, to be honest, because people are probably looking at YouTube and like, dude, I've seen you dressed with the jersey on before. What are you talking about? I'll go there like on a Monday or Tuesday. I love that woman. Turn around. I love her. What is her name? She's the Fox reporter. It starts with a J. I love her. Like,
I listen to Fox. I watch Fox enough.
I would drink her. I would drink her bathwater. I would drink her bathwater the way I drink Rafa's Alfredo sauce at Eureka's. I really would. What do you got on board?
Ralph Rude and JR is a girl dad.
I forgot. Well, that doesn't count. When you only have one.
We're talking like multiple.
Yeah,
girls.
you got to have like 2, 3, 4.
They tried for, you could clearly tell they're trying for the boy, but they keep getting the girl.
I think that's what happened to Matt Stafford.
Yeah, 100%.
They kept trying.
You know what's funny? He's going to be like Derek, where, and I realize Derek has sons. That's not what I mean. But more of like, his son is not going to know his father as a quarterback. And Matt will inevitably have one, I think, but it'll be well after his career is over.
Well, you think because his career's got about 10 minutes left. You think he's going to play another season after this season?
He could.
I don't
He
think
just won an MVP last year. He definitely could.
Yeah, but they're going to win the Super Bowl now that Aaron's coming back, and then he'll walk out like Elway. I mean, you think he comes back again? How old is he? He's Kersaw's age.
35?
No.
34?
No.
He's around my age.
No, he went to school with Clayton. Hey, Siri, how old is Matt Stafford?
38.
38. That's what I'm saying. So next year he's 39. He's almost 40. I mean, Breeze did it. Brady did it.
Favre did it. Favre and Stafford aren't like.
Yeah, I just...
Tough dudes, big arm, big name.
Yeah. And what's funny is I saw them both on a podcast, and they both, they grew up in the same community down in Dallas, and they were just ridiculous athletes. One of the best stories is Clayton Kershaw throwing a perfect game and hitting a home run in the same game. Now, granted, it was a shortened game because in high school they have rules that if you get like a 10-run lead, they call it. So it was only like a 5-inning perfect game, but he struck out everybody. Like everybody. Like nobody touched the baseball in 5 innings, and he hit a home run, and I'm pretty sure it was a playoff game. I'm pretty sure it was.
Wonder how many kids went home crying that day.
I mean, can you imagine? I played against one guy like that who was just absolutely unhittable. And I tried to, I realized, so I'm the leadoff hitter. And I'm standing there and he's warming up. And I'm like, there ain't no way in the world I'm catching up with this. And so I figured, I'm going to bunt.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to bunt. And I bunted and I had my fingers on the other side of the bat. And and I got a base hit.
Bunting hurts.
And it hurt. I mean, I'm sprinting up first base like this. mother just caught me. And I was a really good punter. I never put my fingers like this. But against this guy, I had to get like deep into it. I forget the kid's name. It was at Samo. We were playing no, we weren't playing Santa Monica. We were playing at Santa Monica High School, but we weren't playing Santa Monica. I can't remember who we were playing. But what else you got?
Let Chris host when you're gone.
Now, how in the world will we do that? You're going to bring in Daisy? You want to host today?
Okay, if you want me to, if you need me to, I will.
How would you do it?
Probably either have JR or Daisy produce for me. I did it with JR show yesterday.
I don't care now that we lost Cassie Biddle.
See if you
I
can find somebody
forgot.
else.
I forgot. I can't have Cassie host because she is a candidate for city council. I don't know how that escaped my mind. So I've got it like a day open, I think. And I don't think I have confirmed with Teresa Goldner because she's
back and forth.
Well, I don't want to get into her business, but she's busy right now. Let's just put it that way. So I don't know what the future holds.
If you need somebody, I will sit in and do it if they okay it. But we'll reach that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, because we got a whole week. Yeah. And then my mom's birthday is a week from today, as a matter of fact. She turns 84 years young. And her little boy will be 64 3 days later, August 3rd, 1962. I was born 2 days before Marilyn Monroe took her, let's try that again. Bailey on Marilyn Monroe, take two. I was born 2 days before the Kennedys murdered Marilyn Monroe. Because believe me, the Kennedys murdered Marilyn Monroe. They were John and Bobby were tossing her around like a piece of candy. They were both sleeping with her. She fell in love, actually, with Bobby because Kennedy was known to be, we're done. Sorry, but that's the truth. Every woman that talked about John Kennedy said, he was very brief. He was very brief.
Is there anything worse in the world?
See, I have I almost talked about my sex life.
Yeah, let's not get into
because
that.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm like,
Marilyn Monroe, anyways.
Yeah, anyway. But she actually fell in love with Bobby. And, is it a coincidence that Bobby was seen at her apartment or Brentwood condo like 2 days before she died? And the coroner, after they re-examined it, said there's no way she could have died of pills because there's so much drugs in her system. She would have vomited them up. She would have done a Chris Burdick. What are you going to do with that trash can, by the way? I'm
going to throw it out.
You got to empty it. You can't.
I got to empty. I'm not going to.
You can't leave that thing at the weekend. Can you imagine Steven coming here on Monday?
Water.
Was that, because you haven't eaten?
Yeah, all I had was water.
Okay, good.
Regardless, I'm still throwing it away.
Want to thank my girl Kate, who works for Steve Hilton, who got him on the program today, and one of our favorite people, Meg Maitland out at COM. And of course, our Friday regular will be hosting the show on Friday when I'm gone, Mr. Rick Bentley. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Have a great weekend. Wrap to you Monday.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Hall, I'm John Scott. There's no let-up in back-and-forth fighting in the Mideast. The Iranians striking a U.S. military base.
At least 7 explosions have broken out near a military base hosting U.S. forces in the northern Iraqi city of Erbil. The city's in the country's semi-autonomous Kurdish region. The explosions began at around 9:30 a.m. local time on Friday, according to an Associated Press journalist in the area who heard the blasts. The journalist observed that these 4 plumes of black smoke rising into the sky from areas near or inside the base. There's been no immediate information on casualties or the cause of the explosions, and Iraqi and U.S. officials haven't immediately commented. I'm Charles Dilatesma.
Saudi Arabia struck the port city of Hodeidah in Yemen in response to Iranian-backed Houthi rebel attacks on Saudi shipping. The Saudi strikes Saturday were in retaliation